Welcome to the Higher Value Show. Cashman and Randall Brad, let's go. Let's smoke some weed, learn some things. Deep grins and intellects stay are on wing. We're here to open up your mind and hear the truth that you will find. So light it up and join the crew. We're here for you. We'll play Bill, Hill, Piconi, Catty, told you.
Oh, it's all here.
Maybe I'm here finally. Maybe I just haven't been here. All of us.
Ooh, wait. Welcome to Tuesday. Welcome to It's Different. We're back. We're shifting to the new little run of information, the little run of scenarios, the little run of talking points. We're going to talk about some mental health and what the frick is it? What is it? I hate labels. I don't like labels. I really don't like that one, but it's the only one we can use to communicate it with everybody. So that's what we're going to use tonight. So look, buy the ticket, take the ride. You know what I'm talking about. Strap in. We're going to have a good time with this one too. We're going to have a damn good time. You know what I'm saying? Cosmo, Brad, how you living? Welcome to Tuesday. What up with you, Big C? It's a new nickname.
What up? Big C. I like that.
Yeah,
it's usually
it's
Big
cool.
M for Mike.
Well, you know,
but
I like to be hip.
It's all good. It's all good. Yeah, man. I'm stoked. We're getting into our territory. Like, got to bring Brad along and everybody else, but I think I don't know. It's going to be interesting tonight. I'm curious to see what people think and if we get any interesting questions. I'm hoping for that. I'm hoping for some engagement, just for some, even if it's like, what the fuck are you guys talking about? Just something, you know?
Absolutely.
Tony's already pumping his bag in the comments.
Hey, and I got to give shout out to Tony. He's a cunt bag holder. You guys aren't aware. This is probably the worst joke I've created so far. It's a meme token that the Higher Values Show. We're going to continue to pump and utilize for giveaways, promotion sources. Just, give back to the community. There's a lot of degens out there. I'm fully embracing my my crypto degen. Bitcoin's over 1,000. Ethereum, there's some questions there.
I'd be 100,000.
But nevertheless, I believe in Kamala's cunt, and I don't know if you guys do or not, but I fully support that as our meme token, and we're behind it. Tony, he's a holder, and we're going to keep pumping that and using that for giveaways. I don't know until we fucking figure out something funnier. Hopefully way funnier. But
well, good. How you living today, Brad? What you did today?
Oh man, got a little workout in. Yesterday was leg day, so the back was tight. Had to get some stretching in, a little cat cow. Doing a little popping and locking and all that. Probably should have stood up for the people for that. Maybe later, but. Overall, I can't complain much. It's almost the time when the sun stays up past 5 p.m. here. I don't know if you guys have to deal with that in the
yes, we do.
The South or whatever, but it's bad here, and I cannot fucking wait. Give me back those 7, 8 o'clock sunsets. Miss me on the 9 o'clock, in July. That's a little fucking much, but.
I go to work at dark and I come home at dark when I work days, and then I work nights. So it's like literally just.
It's like, what are we even doing?
You're like an owl.
Yeah.
Nocturnal. Yeah.
I couldn't even imagine living in fucking Alaska or wherever those people, have to deal with 4 hours.
Oh my gosh.
Shit.
Yeah. Well, then it's the opposite problem too, right? Where it flips to there's so much daylight and you only get a couple hours.
Yeah. I did Alaska in like late April. Did my vacation there, and like it was April, so I figured it'd be moderate sun. No, that shit was still like fucking 11 o'clock at night, and 4 o'clock in the morning it was coming up, and I was like, what the fuck is this? And the mosquitoes were insane, but it was beautiful. Alaska's great. I really recommend it for everybody.
Heck yeah. Well, bruh, we're gonna talk about mental health tonight. Can I tell you about today for Cosmic? All right.
Let's get into it.
So look, I mean, most of y'all know because I know, like, 70,000 people look at my post. I worked a lot for the freeze. I got locked in. I slept in a food closet. I worked like 96 hours, whatever. Whatever. It's life. So yesterday, I'm off. Figure we'll do dishes, we'll vacuum, we'll clean, bullshit, chill. Today, love you, Cash. Today, I said it's time to get some shit done, get back to the reality. So, bruh, I drywall the bedroom, my bedroom, the master bedroom where we had a leak in the shower, right? So that's some work. That was a job. I've never done that before. We got that done.
Yeah,
I fixed
boy.
the leaking toilet. The toilet was leaking. I fix it.
Ooh.
I fix things. That's what I do. And then the garage door people come. The turnbuckle broke on the belt. So I'm like, all right, it'll probably be a couple, maybe $100, 150. They'll change that out. Well, you know what? The builders use the cheapest, oldest garage door motor, and you can't get parts. I went and used AI to try to find the parts and used Google, couldn't find them either. So, Cosmic dropped 650 on an air condition on a garage door motor today. And then after that, I was like, well, we'll live life now. I'm not sweating it. Been working some overtime. I actually have been practicing this thing where I say thank you for having the money to spend for whatever it is. Right. Like I literally, before I charged that on my card, I was like, thank you that I have the money to take care of my house. Thank you that I have the money to go buy cigarettes because I enjoy my cigarettes, whether they're good or bad for me. But I've been saying that, and it's a really cool energy type flow thing, bro. It's tight. And then garage doors working, baby girl's like, I want to try to ride my bike without training wheels. I'm like, all right, you know what? We'll take them off. We'll give it a shot. Girl freaking nailed it, dude. Like second try, I'm doing this with my hands right off the wheel, off the handlebars, and she just starts going. She rode like half of the street today.
So it's dad moments, man.
Oh, it was awesome. She was so fired up. It was a great day, very productive. Got a lot of stuff done. And I did ray gun. I ran gay, I think is what you were trying to say, because I did that. I ran a lot with that bike to keep up. But man, like, you talk about a day, dude. Welcome back to being at the house. And what the heck is that, Brad?
What is that, Brad? It was hard, dude. It was hard to pay attention when Brad is over there with like a laser torch.
That's my ray gun.
That's
Call of Duty, the zombie ray gun. That's what Casper was talking about. My pew pew.
Okay.
Over here taking dabs, talking about.
Dude,
I can't pay attention to anything while that's in this game.
I like that. All right, look, I got to pop to the 5G, so I'm going to be right back if the 5G shows up. But we need to get to a mental minute too. We got to get to.
Oh, there he goes. All right, mental minute. You ready, Brad? Oh my gosh. Thank you for muting, by the way. Oh, he's back. Cool. You good? You good, Cosmo?
I think so.
All right. So, mental minute, I was thinking about this. And today, I think, just given what we're going to be talking about, mental health, I wanted to kind of challenge everybody to try and think differently, or at least be open to not looking at things, at least for a time. Maybe it's just this conversation. But I challenge everybody to start to look at things in coherencies of like systems working with other systems. And so you can pick anything, right? Let's take our bodies. Our bodies are systems, right? We have a cardiovascular system, respiratory system, nervous system, all these systems, right? And so healthcare is not taking care of one of those systems. You need to take care of all those systems, right? And I know it seems simple, but we don't really do that, do we? We go to a general practitioner. They know enough about the body to generally know where to direct you if you have problems with like something, say your knees, or maybe it's your joints or whatever. You'll always go to a specialist, right? And so when you go to that specialist, they know everything about that specific thing, but nobody ever looks at it holistically. And so in my journey, mental health, physical health, all the health, looking at things holistically, looking at things in terms of a system. And when one thing is out of balance, just like a pendulum or an instrument, If one string is off, the whole chorus, the whole instrument is off. And so that is healthcare. And so I'm a designer, so I've spent many years like thinking of things in terms of systems, and I've noticed the benefits from that, and I think I just want to kind of try and introduce that to everyone. So in whatever way that means anything to you, try and think of things just differently. Think of things as being connected instead of disconnected, and I think you'll be surprised at what you find. So
I love it. Maybe next week, that's where we go next week. I've actually had requests for me and Cosmo to do a show, long video, whatever, on like alternative health, which really isn't alternative health. The alternative health is when they added oil to the pills. But maybe we'll do that next week because there's a lot to share. We all have a lot to add with that.
I was gonna say, did you guys even know that I'm a licensed X-ray, operator? I used to work for a chiropractor, and my chiropractor, he was feisty when it came to pharmaceutical medication. Now, like, he did not like anything about that, because he understood the core concept of most pharmaceuticals are aimed to treat the symptoms.
Yes,
symptoms
they're not holistic.
Only. Yeah, they're not there to treat what's going on, and they're not trying to combat what's actually going on. And I'm not saying that like we were all just in favor of like, obviously he firmly believed a lot of things were based off the adjustment, the alignment of the spine, and the ability for the nerve endings to communicate and all. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, because there's fundamental science that goes behind that. But there was other therapies and modalities that we utilize, like cold laser technology to get into the deep tissue of muscles and help repair some of the ligaments that shit like that from tears and soft tissue, shit like that. And then there was obviously ultrasound techniques and shit like that, but massage, all that good stuff. Over to Tony, the rig and the ray gun. That's Glass Station. That's higher values 10x. Quick little plug. And now you can go get your dabs from anywhere. I get it. But I trust my guys at Dabsci, Emerald Exotics, and Grower Coalition. I'm over here. This is Spy Rock Sour from Dabsci. And if you're not hitting up Dabsci or Grower Coalition, you're probably hitting up the wrong vendor, my friends. And you got to tell them Higher Value sent you. Shameless plug. We got to keep this show on the air, boys, because we obviously ain't getting YouTube monetization or X monetization for saying fuck Bill Gates now. So, like, y'all know that. Like,
well, all I know is I ain't no spy. All right, because that's been a joke at work. They found something that actually got me upset a little bit. They've been calling me a spy because I call all the bosses government employees, and they're like, "Oh, maybe Sean's a spy for him." And I was like, "Y'all, I'm not." Well. And so that's been a thing. So Trace, Clark, Stephen, not Steven, because Steven doesn't do that because I love him. But if y'all are out there, y'all, all right, had to get that in. Also, Stevesy, like my best friend in real life, posted that music thing today. I don't know if y'all saw that. He's in some kind of competition. Go show him some love. Go show him some love. I quote posted it. Dude has an amazing voice. He did this thing where he's deep for a while, and then he just like ups like 4 octaves, because when he goes high, it's beautiful. And it's, man, the end of that's anyway.
That was nice though.
We're gonna break into what is mental health before we can actually discuss how to improve your mental health. And the stuff we're gonna break into tonight really will help. This is what I've learned. Okay, so I'm not a doctor. I'm not a therapist. I am a lifelong learner. I hosted a mental health and mindfulness space for 2 years on X with Stevie from the Wild Cards. I am an avid researcher, and I am a very, how would you say it? I test things. I apply what I learned to my life, and I see what works and what doesn't work. That's what qualifies me. I have worked with people for free, like in real life, with people through X, and I've been a guide. I've been able to help people find their things and get through stuff. So I just want to give a little bit of why would you even listen to what I have to say? Well, that's why. There's years of being involved in this that give me the confidence to talk about it. So look, I'm going to break down the main thing to me about mental health is your belief system. Okay. And Brad had asked a question like, what do you mean belief system? Like what do you believe in as like a God thing or spiritual thing or blah, blah, blah. And I was like, dude, it's that and more. because it is your relationship to that, but it's also your relationship to this. It's your relationship to being here. So the big thing that broke this to me, I was around 22, 23, and I read Louis Althusser's lit theory paper on ideology. And his definition is ideology is your imaginary relations to what is real. And that doesn't sound like a lot until you think about it, right? In your brain, you got these thoughts going on in here, okay, to everything that happens, everything that you do, that you think is going to happen, that has happened, that you feel, that everything that you experience, you have thoughts about them. You can look at those thoughts like they're imaginary. So that's your relations to what is real. The external, the processing is the imaginary relation. You are real. Put it like that. To me, my practices, my learnings, that is the foundation of your daily quality of life, of your quote unquote, you know that I know that labels are dumb, mental health. That's what it boils down to. And for the first part of this show, that's what we're going to get into. If we have time, we're going to get into emotions themselves, kind of define what they actually are in a way you might not have heard before, and how to use them. I think that's a valuable tool. And we'll do the holistic thing next week. And there's a lot of paths to go down. There's a lot of really cool stuff that we can get into that you can practice. We can do a whole episode just on practical practices, on tools for your toolbox, things you can do and test out and see what helps you. So that's my lens. I like to give y'all, right? Y'all kind of have noticed we do a trend, right? Like, hey, what's up? What's going on? I'm friends with you. I like you. What'd you do today? Oh, Cosmo, give me a mental minute. Oh, Sean, try to tell me what we're going to talk about because I want to understand it, right? That's what we do because there's some structure that helps for an audience, I think. If it doesn't, just say F off, Sean, because we might be bringing back an idea. I've been talking for 8 minutes. I'm going to talk for 3 more. Y'all. Brad told me I can't curse anymore, so I stopped. But when we started this show on the Twitter space, I had the idea
fucking win
for people to vote on who you like and don't like, and to keep tally in my notebook because I have this notebook right here. It's beachy. It's adventure awaits.
Bro,
if you don't like adventure,
so what the
you
hell?
can just wait.
Doesn't look legit.
Yeah,
is yours bigger than mine?
Mine's always bigger than yours, Brad. Ask my wife.
What the hell?
Wink.
So in the comments on Twitter, on the post, on the live, whatever, say who you like and don't like. Say why you like them and don't like them. Clip that shit and make fun of us. Or
drama.
It and be like, oh, this was really cool. Like whatever works for you. I don't, I don't care, but I care because I think it could be fun. And if there's a lot of not likes for somebody, Brad, then they're gonna have to do something embarrassing. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna make it
wagers on this.
I make up games. So look, that's my run. That's my run. I'll shut up. I'm gonna hit the mute button.
Well, you're putting us on the spot.
I want to hear what Brad thinks. What do you think, Brad?
That's how I do shows, man. I just stop talking and someone picks it up.
Perfect.
I'm
thinking when it comes to all these possible challenges here, I think obviously we're going to start with fun clothing items that we're going to force people to wear. And then there might even be like embarrassing tweets that we have to post. Nothing that's going to get somebody suspended, permanently fucking canceled, throttled for 3 days, maybe. But they're going to be fun, coordinated to, entertainment when it comes to the fun, stupid stuff. But hopefully get some good laughs out of it. I personally, I don't want to sound gay.
That's a lot of
I want to see one of these guys in the thong.
That's a lot of lube.
Get him in a thong. I'll be happy as shit about it.
People's paid to see me in that. I've been told by multiple men that are attracted to men that I have a nice ass. So that's a fact. It's a fact of history in my existence. So maybe I'll get lucky one day. Who knows?
So we'll probably set up some rules for these. I assume over the next couple of weeks where once Cashman, stuttering here. Once Cashman gets nervous. Back, unfortunately,
think about that phone.
That's true. I don't know if he's got the COVID or if Bill Gates got him. But
both.
We're all out there. We're hoping he feels better.
Same.
I personally now. I picked up some dude wipes now, and I appreciate it because the other day, I don't know if I had the same thing. I guess COVID been going around making people feel nauseous, giving them the poopies. I had mad poopies the other day, and like
Mad
it was
poopies,
like
bro.
8, 10. Man, my butthole was chapped by the end of the day. And shout out to
Dehydrated,
Dude
too.
Wipes.
Dude Wipes would have helped.
They was helping me out by the end of the day
Gatorade.
because I was switching solely to Dude Wipes. I was putting them in the trash. I ain't trying to have another disaster like I had 2 weeks ago where my whole fucking basement was. No, we're done with that. So we got a
Lessons
closable trash can now because what ended up happening. We put the stuff in the trash can without the lid, and wouldn't you know it, the dog, the goddamn dog.
Why?
You know where I'm going with this. Goddamn dog. So we got a lid on the trash now, right? Everything's fine.
Dogs are gross.
We learned. We move on.
Did you wash the dog?
Me personally, no. Did the wife toss him in the shower? Absolutely, yes. Shout out. Took care of all that. As for me, I played Call of Duty, so just gonna be honest about it.
I'm not mad at it. Sometimes you got to do that.
Well, 2 weeks ago I was down here fucking, cleaning up, mopping up shit off the fucking concrete floor. So give me a break,
You earned a little Call of Duty, right?
You get this one, I got the last one. This one's not nearly
They're pretty much even, right? No,
Yeah, it's your turn now.
Dog needed a bath anyway. Shower needed to be cleaned anyway. You got that, right? So, I'm not getting pussy for at least a month. So
hey,
Just
that's
Call of
okay.
Duty,
Too.
though.
You need that too
Yeah, bro.
sometimes. Sometimes you need a
time,
break.
bro.
I hit
Yeah.
prestige level 10, boys. I'm about to prestige max now on Call of Duty. And
Getting that camo skin.
right?
Getting
I
those
don't know what
vanilla
you do
boys.
after you prestige. Personally, for me, after I finish it all, it's usually about March. So we're at the end of January right now. So we're about right there on deadline. And it's going to be time for spring. I'll get back out there with a pollinator garden, start getting some shit going on, and hopefully by April, May, we'll start seeing little flowers blooming, and I won't be on Call of Duty anymore.
There you go. And it's almost crawfish season. I mean, they're here, but they're still expensive. I'm still trying to convince Cosmo to fly down probably in a month or two. But I'm just gonna annoy him till he has no choice but to come for a crawfish boil. That's how I roll. Just the kind of friend I am.
It'll work, I'm sure.
It'll work. The arm is twisted.
Shit.
Okay.
I don't know what Cashman was saying on just a week, but if he was talking about the me not getting pussy, I said a month. Just to clarify, I don't know if that's what we were talking about, and I said at least a month, which means at least and more potentially. So
not
T's and P's to
just
me.
a week.
Yeah.
Women have needs too. We're all humans, and love is love. Love is love. It's beautiful.
Love is love.
Sometimes you clean up doo-doo and don't do the do for a while, and that's okay too.
Yeah, sometimes you put your significant other in a shitty situation and deal with it.
Okay. 36 minutes for this first hour. Let's get into some beliefs. Does anybody want to go first, or do y'all want to listen to me ramble again? This is my favorite topic in the world, by the way. Just by the way. But does Brad or Cosmo have something y'all want to jump into with it?
I mean, I have things to say for sure, but what do you think, Brad?
That's basically where I'm at. Like, I certainly have things to say, but
okay. Well, look,
I'm
gonna do.
Why don't you start off? We'll roll with it.
I'm gonna break us in. Y'all interrupt me. So look, here's why your belief system is so important. And again, by belief system, I mean everything. Like, do you believe that you're gonna go to hell if you do bad things? Do you believe in God? Do you believe that there's nothing like that? That matters. That does matter. But what really also matters is, do you believe that if you're having a good day and someone says, man, it's a good day, and you're like, yo, you just jinx me, bitch. Like, don't say that. Do you believe like that? Do you believe that if you're doing the dishes and a dish falls and breaks, and then you slip on the water a little bit and you bobo your knuckle on the counter, you're going to have a shitty day all day? Do you believe that if some girl smiled and winked at you and you're feeling all good about yourself, you should buy a lottery ticket because you're going to have a good day? This goes both ways, positives and negatives. But what I'm getting at is I'm talking your entire beliefs about how you exist as you on the planet Earth that we live on, whether it's flat, round, dodecagon, I don't care. You're here. That part's real. What you believe controls your subconscious programming. Your subconscious programming controls 90+% of your life. I'm not going to give a number because I'd lie, but I know I will bet a paycheck that if you go research it, it's going to be over 90%. Your subconscious is controlling. And I mean that like this. Okay. So if you're not someone who reflects on your choices, if you're not someone who thinks about these kind of things throughout the day, let's say I run into Brad, because Cosmo, this story wouldn't work for Cosmo. I think he's kind of like a little soft. But let's say I run into Brad.
It's true.
He said, "Bitch."
And like, I think me and Brad are good friends because we talk on the internet, right? And I go up to Lake, Superior, Wanawaka, and I see, and I'm like, yo, what's up, bitch? But Brad don't like to be called that word. And Brad pushes me immediately. He's like, ooh, my subconscious programming is going to kick in. I'm a fight or flight person. Me, I'm a fight person. And if I'm not thinking about what kind of choices I'm going to make, if I'm not thinking about being in the present moment, when Brad pushes me, I am very likely to swing. And then one of two things is going to happen. Me or Brad is going to get hurt, but one of us is going to get hurt, right? I don't know who. But what I'm getting at is your subconscious will take over for those responses. When the day takes a turn, good or bad, that's your response. And that's that initial emotion that comes up. That's that someone says at work, like, you did the weenus wrong. You didn't do the TPS report right. And you're like, bitch, I made the TPS report. Like, I did the formatting. And now I'm pissed off at Tom. Tom can go eat a dick. Like, he don't know nothing about TPS reports. And now I'm mad. And then the boss comes in and he's like, I need you to work an extra hour today. I don't work an office job, so I'm making this up. And you're like, yo, I work salary. I don't work extra hours. And now you're all pissed because your subconscious was just to respond to how you felt. Somebody said something, external input came in, made me feel insecure. And now I'm angry, I'm projecting, and I'm trying to fight back because I feel like I'm in a corner and I need to claw out for survival. That's your subconscious. That's your normal beliefs for a normal human that has not worked on any of this. What I want to get at is you can utilize your belief system to your benefit. You get to choose what you believe. You hear something new and you think it's interesting and you think about it and you apply it to your life, and then you have some experiences that say, oh shit, this is real or this might be real. Those responses start to change. So me and Brad were in the DMs a little bit, and I'm going to talk about this. I'm sorry, Brad, if this is not what you wanted to get to, but like, this was a huge part of my life. Is I'm gonna call it Christian guilt. Comedic Centered Living on YouTube did an hour live stream on Christian guilt. And it's like, if you're no longer specifically in that religion, you feel guilt for a long time, and you got to learn how to process that, right? Because your whole life you were like, if I break these laws, I'm going to hell. If I don't go tell Cosmo, bro, you need to pray with me right now and put Jesus in your heart, you're going to go to hell. And I got to deal with that. Cosmo doesn't. It's my life, not his. Right? Like, because I'll feel responsible. There's things when you change your beliefs. But when that belief changes and you get to a point, like I got to a point over years of battling with all this stuff where I was like, bro, I think heaven. I told my daughter, she asked me, where do geckos go? Do they go to heaven when they die? And I said, well, yeah. She said, what is heaven? I said, well, in my opinion, I think heaven's just where we all go when we're not in a body. So, because, our true existence is likely, to me, I think absolutely, but it's up to you, is a soul or a consciousness or a spirit, whatever label you want to give it, but it's not this, and it's not temporary. It's an immortal thing. And I think heaven's just where we exist. Thousands and thousands of NDEs have been recorded saying that. We've talked about this on the show. They go to a place where it's unconditional love. There's no judgment. It's all about growth and learning. And when I fully believe that to be the reality, things changed. When someone cut me off in traffic, all of a sudden it wasn't, man, this mother, it was, okay, dude's in a hurry. He's more important to me today, whatever. Or it was, he might have something to learn that I've already learned. I'm going to let him go. I don't get as mad. My patience got longer. My temper got lower. And the peace in my life, the happiness in my life, looking for the love in my life, all of a sudden that window opens up. But the seed of that wasn't affirmation, saying something in the mirror, doing more push-ups. All of those things are great. And some will work for you, some won't. But the seed that will grow that plant is what you believe. Choose what you believe. That's if I preach anything, it's not to have the beliefs that were given to you because your parents, your aunt and uncle, your cousins, your sisters, your teacher, your grandparents, the preacher, the grocery store person that you went to every Sunday, they put beliefs in you as a child. And you grew up as those as your beliefs. And when you're about 16 to 25, you start to question. Make your beliefs your own. And if the ones that you were given as a kid, you feel like at peace and you like them, hey, roll with it. Look, they're yours. They're yours. You're going to be fine regardless. You're going to be just fine no matter what. You might be a little happier. You might be a little more depressed. You might be whatever. But at the end of the day, you're going to be fine. So they're yours. But I implore people to choose the beliefs that serve you. Experiment with them and make them beliefs that you want to have. Okay, so if that did that spawn anything in that, man, that was like a 7-minute rant. But I could go for 30. I've written papers on this. I love this topic,
bro. Yeah, I mean, if I can hop in, Brad, I just want to throw in a little bit of science behind what he's talking about. So there's a Dr. Joe Dispenza who specializes in neuroscience and specifically in epigenetics, which is the study of how our thoughts change our DNA, which there is a direct correlation to that. And they found it over and over in all kinds of different studies, to the point where athletes in major professional institutes are using lucid dreaming and visualization in their minds to lift like hours and hours in their mind, like Inception, Dr. Joe. And there's physical correlation to that. Like there's actual measurable, tangible differences in their physiology from doing that. So go ahead, Sean.
Can I just real quick tell you a Joe Dispenza study?
Yeah, bro. Do it.
Okay, so there's two, but I'm just going to talk about one. One was with working out because you're talking about that. Yeah. And they took 3 groups. You're about to, or were you going to tell this? I ain't going to get in your way.
No, go for it, bro.
Okay, so there's 3 groups, dude. This is freaking cool, man. There's a group that goes to the gym and does this specific workout, let's say an hour a day for a week, whatever. And then there's a control group that does nothing. And then there's a group that goes do some breathing exercises and some meditation. All right. Specifically the ones Joe Dispenza talks about where you pull your breath up into your lungs and you push the spinal fluid up and all. Cosmo will probably get into that. Yeah, anyway, to make this short, because I'm interrupting, I'm being a douchebag. To make it short, the control group had very little change. Okay. And I'm gonna make up some numbers here because I don't remember them, but I remember how close they were. The group that worked out, let's say they had like 10% growth, which is great. The group that did the meditation and visualized doing the workout, like they had to visualize each rep in their minds that they were doing them, they had like 8%. It was very, very close. So imagine if you're doing both, but imagine the power of that visualization, the power of that breathing. Okay, and I'll show.
No. I mean, it's a perfect example. And then if you, okay, so if we can take that and make it a bit more abstract and start applying it to our emotions, our relationships, like think of the son that never feels like their father is proud of them. And so they spend their whole life trying to make them proud. Come to find out the father is proud of them, but they never told them that. But you believed that they weren't proud of you. So you lived as that was true. So in your reality, that's true. So like Joe Dispenza, his whole idea is taking that concept and making it malleable, making it such that in meditation, in a state of love, in a high frequency, we can talk about frequency and vibrations a lot when we're talking about health, but everything, every cell, everything vibrates, every atom, absolutely everything in the universe vibrates. It has a frequency. And so putting yourself in a love frequency and a high frequency raises your whole body's vibration. And the goal of Dispenza is to essentially move the energy from your sacral area, like your genitals for men, your balls, right?
The balls.
To move that energy up. All those little
Your
seams,
core, but whatever.
all those, yeah. Move that energy up. That's a lot of lube. And then it pours into your brain, into your pineal gland, which is
that big dick energy.
Yeah. Well, your pineal gland is covered in crystals that have piezoelectric properties, which means when there's pressure applied to them, they create an electrical charge. And so this practice of moving the spinal fluid, which is from your sacral center up your spine into your cranium, and flooding the pineal gland with that fluid, and then compressing it with breathing exercises and applying pressure with your internal organs, it creates a spark. And so if you create enough energy and have a high enough vibration, then that third eye wakes up. You start to see stuff. You start to receive things. You start to use the body in the way that it was meant to be used. And it's everywhere. Like it's on our dollar bill, right? What do you think that little eyeball at the top of the temple is? So all of this gets tied into the esoterics, which again ties into belief systems. All these are systems that have been around for thousands of years. We're just putting into the context of our culture because we're so centered around science and the physicality of things instead of the spirituality of things, which are more of our ancestors. I like both. I think when you can combine both of them, it's really interesting because spirit has so many great symbols that give life to concepts that physical things like, naming an organ, like what comprises an organ is so much more than just like the cells in it, Yeah, totally, Steve Z.
I've practiced that with piano and guitar, and I have found results. Seriously. I've done scales in my mind. They help.
Golf. I've done it with golf. You play a whole round of golf. You play chess, like the Queen's Gambit, that show on Netflix. She pops all those pills and starts hallucinating, but she plays the game in her mind, and she like advances like crazy, And it's a true story,
Hey, I mean, I do that with mushrooms quite a bit, and okay, that's a different.
No, but
dude,
it matters.
I brought up mushrooms, yeah, and just mushrooms for just a second. So, psilocybin specifically has been used a lot in therapeutic settings. It's been studied a lot recently, and what they're finding with it is that these psychedelic mushrooms put the brain in a neuroplastic state. So it puts your brain in a state to where you can start to change those belief systems, those patterns on like a physical level. So if you're able to have a really good setting, mindset, and space to have this experience, you can change that programming permanently. Now there's danger in that. Like if you're not in a good place, if you're not ready for it, and you take that trip, you're going to see what you need to see. And if you're not ready for it, it's going to be rough. And that could really
be a lot of
damage your
purging.
psychology.
I think that's where a lot of people get turned off on all the psychedelics because they lose the thought process that like they can control things. In my mind, that's where I go down. That was my my biggest hang up is like, oh, I can't control how this is going to go, and then it finally like clicked one day, like, well, that's kind of the point though. Like you don't have any control over this.
I'm gonna disagree a little bit. One, the belief system is so important that if you don't believe it's going to work, it's not going to work. You have to be open-minded and seeking. Those with eyes will see. You have to be at a place where you want something different. If you don't want anything different, nothing different's going to work for you. It's all going to be BS, and that's okay. You're going to be there until you want something different. But I'm going to say this, you go into a trip and your body isn't ready and your mind isn't ready and you have a bad trip and you feel like you don't have control. Guess what? That's to show you how much control you have because you don't know what something is until you know what it's not. We exist in a place naturally that we'll call heaven, that what we talked about, unconditional, non-judgmental love. A love that most people, I'm talking thousands of recorded NDEs, say that we do not have the language to express it. So why do we come here We come here to be separated from it, because if you exist in that for eternity, you have no freaking clue what it is and what you're existing in. You just know it feels good. You come here to be separated, to have problems, to have issues, to have drama, to lack love, to lack self, to lack control, so that you can really realize how much love and control you have over everything. And you're not going to have it until you can realize that flip side, until you can experience the separation. I mean, that's me. Look.
Yeah, no, I'm right there with you, man. Like, my journey and what I've learned is you have no control. The only thing you have control over is your choice. Only thing you have control over is your internal state. But that's the beauty of it, is that, as I understand it, as above, so below, as within, so without. There's a creator external, but there is also a creator internal. And that internal one I am in communion with, and I have a say in what I create and my perception of reality. So I think that's the really empowering thing once you start to dismantle your belief systems, or just look at them objectively, see how they're affecting your life. If they're benefiting you, great. If they're not, ask why. Why are these systems there? Can I be without them? Can I replace them? Because one thing I've also learned too is that when there are negative systems, when you destroy it, it needs to be replaced. You can't destroy something and then not replace it, because there is a void there, and if you don't replace it, something else will. So say you've had an addiction to like alcohol, right? You get off alcohol, but then you start hanging out with people who smoke a lot, right? And then, you know, if you don't fill that void, like, it's going to be real easy to just pick up smoking, and then that's going to be your alcohol, you know? So
we live in a closed system. Right. The law of the conservation of energy. Like, there's some things in classical physics that are being proven wrong or whatever, but that one holds pretty strong. Matthias DeStefano explained it in a really beautiful way during a podcast, where he was like, everything is a closed system, all energy, right? Nothing is lost. And we know that everything transforms. If I rub my finger on this desk long enough and you see my camera shaking, nothing is lost from that energy. There's friction. It turns into heat. The heat gets expressed into the air heats up. Nothing is ever lost. Only experience is gained. That's the only thing that happens. And that's a Cosmic Adonis quote. And if you don't like it, fuck off. I'm trying to get folks. But like, this closed system thing is real. You know, if I come up super high, well, there's a wave that's going to come up with me, and there's a wave that's going to hit a trough, and we need all of it. Right. But I covered shadow work for 3 weeks when we did the mental health space. And 1 week was just about when you're the tyrant, how important it is to play the role of being the tyrant and not the victim. We got to be the bad guy. You got to know what it is. You can't heal it unless you know what it is, until you're the bad guy enough that you realize you're being the bad guy and you're aware of it. And again, you can't understand that and make those changes until they become a part of your belief system. Right? You go to my 5-year-old baby girl. Anybody can go to her any given day and say, hey, you have and pause, and she's going to say choice. I have engraved that in her head. She knows that no matter what, there is always a choice. If she's mad going to school because it wasn't her clothes and she didn't get to pick them, and this happened and that happened and blah, 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 and so said this yesterday, you have a what? I have a choice. A choice to what? I could be mad today. I could be happy today. Right? At 4 years old, she was saying that. That's big, right? I didn't know that. So I was in my 30s, bro. And I thought that was BS in my 20s when people told me that. It took a long time. That's a fact. On the choice thing. Brad, we've been talking a lot. I'm sorry, man.
Hey, it is what it is.
You want to jump in?
I'll just derail us for a little bit, but like not really, because when it comes to mental health here, especially and kids, just hot button topic here today. You know, our new president, whether we like it or not, you know, he signed some crazy orders over the last couple of days, and one of them today was banning the gender care for minors. And I know you just said they have a choice, but he said apparently you don't. I don't know how a lot of people feel about that. I don't really care. Personally, I am, I don't want to say that the kids don't have a choice, but on that issue, I am personally on the standpoint, we let them grow up. If you want to be 35, my age, 60, you know, Bruce Jenner, shout out to Caitlin, whatever. Do your thing. Who am I? Sometimes I get in a wig and, do some fucking dumb shit like, fucking live your life to the fullest. If you want to go to Polynesia or fucking wherever the hell these people, whatever, do your thing. I don't care. But I don't think we need to be forcing our personal agenda on the children until they are of age to shape their own opinion. That's my opinion on the hot button topic of today.
Yeah. Well, we touched on it earlier, right? I was like, to your 16 to 25. I mean, your beliefs are what was given to you, so it's not really your choice. It's your subconscious response to what's been fed externally.
Well,
into
you're
you,
changing
right?
so much. You got so much like hormones, and you're meant to be in a fluid state. You're not supposed to be in a permanent. This decision for the rest of my life is happening at this time. No, like even in your 20s, like, I didn't know shit when I was in my 20s, man. Like it took a long time to figure. Yeah, but it's not who you are now, right? Like,
right. I wish.
I want to say there's 0.00000 chance that they should be sending any kids over to any military installations overseas. Just as somebody who was 19 years old in Iraq, I had, again, zero fucking point in being there at that age, serving for the government. I mean, the check was nice, I ain't gonna lie, but like I could have been doing better things to build my career, build what was ever going on, with my life. But I don't want to say you can't make your own decisions when you're 18. If you want to do that, that's fine. But oh man, that was like, it was weird looking back on it now. I'm about to turn 35, and I think like, what the fuck was I doing in Iraq at 19 years old? Like, who gave me a gun and was like, this is smart.
You defend us from the rockets, and I'm gonna give you a gun, kid.
Like, at 17 years old, I was in 17. I was in basic training, and they said, "Here, kid, take this grenade, fucking chuck it." Like, like really.
The training's fucking crazy for these kids, dude. I know I got a lot of Marine friends. All right, so like I'm gonna share 2 stories because my Marine friends have like the best stories. One of them works with me. He is deathly scared of snakes, and he did 2 or 3 tours in Afghanistan. He got shot twice. He'll tell you he's shitty in a gunfight because he got shot twice. Obviously, he's not good at them. But he was patrolling. He was patrolling on like some mountain trail or something, right? They were looking for the Taliban people. And he said, I came running down, man. I saw this big old snake, scared the crap out of me. I ran down. I went to tell the sergeant, whoever the hell they are. And he was like, boy, you got a gun. Go shoot it. It's like that thought never crossed his mind, right? Because he was young. He wasn't thinking like I could shoot the snake. He was like, no, let me get away from the snake. But the other one, my partner's little brother went in. He was like hunchback shoulders. I used to pick on him all the time. Sweet kid. I met him when I was at LSU. And me and his brother are still really close. He actually works with me now too. But he went in and he told me all of these crazy stories, dude, of the boot camp stuff. And when I think about it now, like doing this to an 18, 19-year-old is crazy, right? He said at like 3 a.m., 2 a.m., the drill sergeant came in there and let's make up a name. Brad, what name should I use?
Shit. Fucking Fitzgerald.
Fitzgerald. Okay. He's like, Fitzgerald, you wake up right now. And he rolls out of the bed and he's like, sir, yes, sir. He's like, you going to be my cat tonight. And he was like, sir. And he grabbed a laser pointer, or it was the flashlight. It might have been the flashlight. And he goes, you're going to follow this light all night long, and you're going to catch it like a little cat. You understand me, boy? And he had to get on all 4s. Oh my gosh. He pawed around and chased the fucking flashlight all night trying to pounce at the light, dude. Like, this is what they do. They caught a guy. They caught a guy sneaking a cigarette. All right. He was sneaking a cigarette, and they caught him. And apparently you can't do that. So one of the drill sergeants was an Indian. He was featherhead, not dothead. That's the way he's explained to me. He's featherhead Indian, native. And he goes, boy, we're going to have a funeral for this cigarette butt. You better find it. So he gets the cigarette butt, right? And they go outside of the barracks or the building. Again, I'm not in the military. I don't fucking know. And so he makes this kid all day long dig a 6x6x6 grave for the cigarette. And everyone shows up. And he puts the cigarette in the hole. And then there was multiple people had to bury the cigarette. And the sergeant, the drill sergeant guy gave some last words and they did a ceremony. And then after it was over, he goes, let's say it's still Fitzgerald. This was a different guy, but he goes, hey, Fitzgerald, which direction is the lit end on that cigarette facing? He was like, sir, I don't know, sir. He's like, it better as fuck be facing north. Well, sir, I don't know. He's like, well, you better dig it up and you better make it face north for us to bury this cigarette proper for my ancestors. And in the rain, he had to dig up the cigarette till he found it and turn it north, show the drill sergeant, and then rebury it. Like, this is crazy shit.
It's not. It's not.
It's just normal, right?
Like I've been there. I was smoking a cigarette. Again, I was 17. I had no business smoking a cigarette, but fuck them. I was outside the PX, the post exchange where you get your your commissary goods, all that shit. Smoking a cigarette right in front of that bitch. But everybody smoked there. It was the fucking smoke spot. Granted, there was a sign right behind us, no smoking within 50 feet. Yeah. So sure enough, this I think it was like an E6 at the time. It wasn't our NCO, our sergeant, but it's definitely a sergeant. He's like, you can't read the fucking sign, you idiots. And sure enough, shit. So he has us pick up 100 cigarette butts. Nothing as extreme as what you were talking about there, but very, very fucking similar. He had us put them in formation, but their ranks were based off the length of the cigarette. So we had to establish, the length of them, put them in the fucking, basically line them up, essentially. Wow. But the amount of time that the wind fucking blew, fuck off, fuck you. This was the stupidest fucking assignment that we ever had to fucking complete. And you damn right we had to fucking stand there and fucking salute these sons of bitches. And it was just fucking insane. But we learned our lesson. I ain't never smoked in front of a fucking door. And every time I see a motherfucker smoking in front of the door, I give them the most fucking ignorant fucking look because how dare you, you piece of shit. But that's just ingrained in my brain now. Like,
belief system.
Well, that's what I was going to say. We got 8 minutes for our break. Did I purposely derail us for a joke? I mean, kind of, but also
it all comes back together.
It comes back to the belief system. It comes back to you're 18, 19, 20. You have a very impregnable. I've been a little drunk.
Oh yeah, no, we was getting that too. Brain. We was getting that too now.
Yeah.
We was doing a little finger bang action sometimes
with the other dudes. I mean, I'm not here to judge.
No, there was a time. I was on a bus,
yes.
Right? I was coming, from the basic training to my AIT, the advanced training. I'm on the bus. This girl, she had the looks for me. We're sitting next to each other. She, does the old boom, boom, boom. I'm doing the right.
Just legit. Just
right.
No words. I just do I'm a jack you off motion.
So like check it. Like after like 15 minutes, I skiz in my pants, right? No biggie. I got to do the water walk. You know what I'm saying? Like the fucking.
You're in 7th grade with a boner again.
Right. And thank God there was a bathroom on this fucking, like commercial bus because they were transporting a whole bunch of soldiers all the way from Missouri, at, Fort Leonard Wood down to Fort Sam Houston and San Antonio where things got crazy. But, got the paper towels in there, dapped it up. And, did I go sit next to her again? Not a chance, homies.
Not a chance. That was it. Peace.
Boom, boom, boom.
We had never had another conversation. Not even one. Wow. That's America.
But at the end of the day, at the beginning of the day, they do all this stuff on purpose, right? These are all on purpose games to seed an ideology, right? To try to grow your imaginary relations to what is real, to fit the need of what you're going to have to do. Because you're going to have a day. You're going to have a day where you got to make a choice subconsciously and react immediately. That could not just cost your life, but cost hundreds of other lives, right? Like I work at a job where like things can go bad. They typically don't. We've had some oh shit days, but I've had to subconsciously just respond to things. And my training is what put me in the spot to make choices that saved moments, right? Or that other people saved moments. I'm not saying like, oh, I'm the best fucking at what I do. I'm not. I don't give a fuck. It's health insurance and retirement and a paycheck. But I do take care of my coworkers. I take care of the people with me that matters, or the people that work behind me. If you're going to open something up that if you breathe it can kill you, I'm going to make sure you can open it up and not die, you know?
Yeah, like chill, bro.
And not guy that doesn't wash his hands though. Like fuck that guy.
Fuck that guy. Look, bro, that dude should be fired. That dude has done some shit and lied about it. I'm saying it on the national media because we're on the national news. And he's good. He's still on like all the response teams and working overtime all the time and out there and whatever. He still don't wash his hands. Bro, wait.
He eats like that though?
Did I tell you about the candy bar he dropped?
In the bathroom?
No. Okay. Hold on.
I was just gonna ask, does he eat candy? Like, does he eat chocolate too? Because like sometimes that stuff get underneath your fingernails. And
that's another. That's another
like
person.
Butterfingers.
Like,
that's my old operator.
Ever,
my old operator used to take his dip out with his mouth and then offer you food. He was nasty, but this guy. So who's the girl? Who's the girl that does the weed shows with y'all that was really into no hand wash guy?
Shit. That was fuck. I feel like a bad.
She's really sweet.
A lot of weed.
She's really sweet. I haven't been on X a lot, so I forgot her handle.
No, it's not Tara.
If you remember it, shout it out. Anyway.
God damn it.
This is for you. This is for you. I know what you look like. You did the song thing. Yes. You're really cool. So the other day,
like from Australia or some shit, I think too.
Before the freeze hits, we're on normal shift. Now I'm eating lunch at 11:10 a.m. and he walks by the trash can with the Snickers bar, and half of it falls on the ground. And he picks it up. Like, we got these like rubber floors that are fucking disgusting because we got all these chemicals on our shoes and oil on your shoes and dirt on your shoes. Like, you don't touch the floor. And he dropped it and he picked it up and he threw it in the trash can. And I'm sitting there with my coworker and I look at him and then I look back up and I said, "Hey, yo," because I ain't gonna say his name, right? That's illegal.
Fitzgerald.
And I said, "Hey, bro." And I yelled this, so I know he heard me because he was no more than 15 feet away. And I yelled, "Dude, why the fuck ain't you gonna eat that off the floor? You don't wash your hands after you shit or piss and you eat food?" And he just kept walking. He ignored it. I'm like, "Bro, you're nasty." And I said, "You're nasty." And I know he heard all of it. I'm fucking Sean. I'm the Cosmic Adonis, dude. I will call a mother effer out. He threw that candy bar away.
You don't care though.
He's eating nastier stuff from his hands. He was nastier probably from his hands than the floor. I'm just saying. I called him out on that one. Can confirm nothing on the floor gets consumed. Yeah, Steve Z knows.
Corroborated.
I mean, you might get a disease that Wuhan hasn't even made yet off of that floor, dude. It's real.
Sorry, I'm still trying to find this person. Because like now it's like
we need to know her name. We'll find it. We'll shout her out for the 8 people that are watching. We used to have like 500 people. Do you remember that when we had like 500 people watching? That was cool.
Yeah.
And now we're at like 8.
Yeah, X hates us again, or the algorithm. But I heard one-liners are fucking the banger tweets right now, and who's active, check in. Anything that's just like, hey, I'm just here for simple engagement. Nothing really depth or personal. I don't need to get to know you because if I get to know you, I'm probably going to hate you. And then we're not going to do this engagement, circle jerking each other thing where we're just saying good morning, good night, good morning, good night. What's up? How you doing? I replied 1,200 times a day. I replied 2,000 times a day. I made $600 on next day.
What's your payout going to be?
And it's like, this is gay. Like, at some point, stop being a fucking faggot. Like, move on with your life. Create some content. Create some depth. Create some controversy. Create a little bit of fucking uproar. Create a little bit of your self-uniqueness. Add a little bit of personality. A little bit of zest. Have some fun with it. Stop being a little bit of a fucking pussy. But that's just my big dick energy. I gotta take a piss. Let's fucking go. Come on. Let's go. Run it. I gotta take a piss.
We'll be back in 5, bro. Love y'all. We're gonna talk about emotions and belief systems and crazy shit.
Toasting to the highs with every sweet drink. Hot knives that alchemists watch the world blink. Beverages so fine they lift you above. A THC honey's a potion of love. Raise up your cup, let the good times flow. Hot knives got the secret. Come on, let's go. Come on, let's go. Yeah. Roll it up, light it right, let's ignite this night. DOS filters got the goods, everything feels so right. From carbon to the paper, every puff pure bliss. With the roller in hand, I just can't resist. Ease your mind, elevate your vibe. DOS filter, the choice you make for the pride. Yeah. First step in the game, we innovating and creating. Cheeba Pet's the name, got the flavor that we're facing. High quality vibes, NFTs with a twist. Grow your own herb, it's a cannabis bliss. NFTs with utility, it's more than just a trend. Cheeba Pet's the vibe, come and ride with the best. High quality dreams, we're above all the rest. NFTs shining bright, in this garden we trust. Grow your own herbal kits, it's a must or bust.
Every strain on deck, we rolling up tight. Every strain on deck, from the depths of the flower. Come, connect, support other growers. We elevate the game, cannabis family unite. Let's light up the flame. With every puff we rise, watch the smoke fill the sky with the green revolution. Dab side, dab it, roll it, light it. Love for the love of the plant, let the whole world know. Supporting each other, that's how we grow. And the road on exotics, let our spirit flow. In this
shedding doubts like a knife. With Reno and Cashman, we elevate our life.
Oh my goodness, we're back. Look, I'm gonna fix a few things, Brad. Check this out. Trump. I'm suing Lyft because I'm way overweight and it doesn't matter. I'm gonna make it even for everybody. I'm Pankusa, the Nukeska. I didn't know her name, but doesn't matter that I made choices to not be healthy to fit into a car. I'm gonna sue them and make money. Right? That's like the thing right now. That's the thing. Oh, it's icing in LA after the fires. This isn't natural. And you know, the feet are at the moon of the head of the Virgo queen, and we're going into the age of the thing. That's what I'm seeing on my timeline. So I don't know. I wanted to be popular, you know, make us popular. That's the way I can think to do it. Was that good, Brad? You're the guy.
Well, that was pretty good. I gotta put my other hat on now. Whatever. But that's great. Let's talk about the fucking news, man. Like that's perfect. My hat's back there. This hat's here.
It's the Rando Brad news report. It's the Rando Brad news report.
So, first off, clearly, global warming is either totally real or they're weather manipulating the shit out of us. And ain't it funny that they're able to make it snow, fucking make it rain on them hoes over in the LA region after they fucking burnt that shit down. You know, it's crazy how that happened. But shout out to the people at Harp who keep us fucking operating smoothly. I appreciate you. Please don't send a tornado over here and suck me up, because that'd be bad. And also, I did not Epstein myself, if anybody asks in the future. Man,
that'd be bad.
What was the other hot button topic? Oh yeah, that fucking fat bitch.
Yes, sue and lift.
Stand these fucking people, dude. Are you serious?
If that lawsuit doesn't get dropped,
yeah.
What
they
is
need
this?
to stand up and say, listen here, you fucking fat cunt. Ain't nobody got time for your fucking used to be Lizzo fucking ass. Get your fucking body positive fucking shit out of here. Nobody gives a fuck, you fucking walrus. All I can hear when you're fucking bitching is, shut the fuck up, you fucking cunt. I don't give a fuck. Go lose some weight. I don't care if you do it the Ozempic way, but I prefer you to do some fucking healthy shit with your life and stop just fucking flexing, like you're. This is fucking disgusting.
We'll talk about the healthy way next week. All right, so Cosmo doesn't know. So Cosmo, check this out. So that lady got famous for a rap she did, just like the big guy that's on the oxygen. I'm sure you've seen him about a year ago.
Yeah.
And she ordered a lift, and the Lyft driver was like, "Yo, you're gonna fuck up my car. You can't get in," and he canceled the lift. And I feel him, right? If she was gonna get in the Mazda 3, the Blue Falcon, she ain't gonna. No, the Blue Falcon ain't gonna make it 10 feet.
Suspension.
And so now she's suing, and her quote was something along the lines of equality for my people, my community, and something else. There was another word that I can't remember, but that's why she's suing, because they wouldn't let her get in the car.
I got a Ram 1500, and if you get a forklift and fucking put this bitch in the back of the fucking the truck, I'll put her in there. And like that's fine. Outside
dude,
of
you
that,
need a 2,500 to 350 minimum for her to ride.
Like I got the big horn, so like
turbo diesel.
I'd be riding. You know what I mean? Like my suspension would really be fucking squawking. Like let me tell you.
What's the Dodge engine? What's the Dodge?
I got
diesel
the 5.7 on. Oh, I was say the diesel. Now that would definitely do it.
No, what's the name of it?
Diesel.
The famous
Cummins.
Cummins.
Yeah,
if it ain't Cummins, she ain't coming.
Nobody coming.
No G, bro. Cummins.
No. I heard someone say she had a lot of OCD, and I was like, bitch, she got obesity.
She got the obesity.
Oh, shit.
All right, so that should have gained like 50 followers from the algorithm, right? Just right there.
Oh, yeah.
Or we're
going.
fucked and we'll never be able to
just get
move on from this. We're fucking done. So
okay.
Anyway, cool.
That shit was crazy though. That shit, it's worth bringing up, because here's the thing, and it ties into what we're talking about.
Yeah,
because you can see that stuff. There's a lot of people. I would say, I'm gonna make up a number, 84% of people get mad about those things, mad enough that it messes with the quality of their day. That has to do with your fucking belief system. If the news is fucking with your day, your belief system needs some work. Most of us, including me, who has been working on my belief system for a decade, learning, researching, applying, trying new things, still needs a lot of work. It needs work. It's constant. And you will have so much better days when you do it. Okay. All right. We got that in. And that was fun. I enjoyed that.
I don't know how we squeezed that fucking fat bitch in here. Jesus Christ. Okay, I'm done.
Yeah.
Ain't got no broadband.
It does bring up something interesting, and that's that I think, like, what I've seen a lot now is that we're in this place where everybody's trying to force their belief systems onto each other, right? Is that what you guys see on Twitter? Is that what we're seeing in legislation? Like, all of this is just so extreme now, and I think that's why a lot of these like older ancient systems are so helpful, is because it brings it back into balance. Obesity. Yeah, classic.
She ain't got that OCD, bro. She got obesity. Oh, I was trying to find a joke to put on the phone, but I can't find it because I can pump the audio, but I'll just say it. I grew up on The Living Color, and we need an obesity token. I don't care if that's a private chat. I'm saying it publicly. That's fucking awesome. Look for the contract. Don't buy a contract if Brad doesn't share it. But it used to be, the joke was, and Living Color hit it with, your mama's so fat. They said it was chilly outside and she went get a spoon. Your mama's so fat, she play hopscotch like this. Miami, Detroit, LA, Chicago. Those are good old days.
Oh my gosh.
Man,
Okay.
I remember when we used to be able to offend each other. Those were fucking sweet.
Bruh. My partner Stefan. He spells it like Steven because he's a bitch, but he pronounces it Stefan because he's bougie. He's not gonna watch this. But if you could watch 3 minutes of me and him interacting, I mean just 3 minutes, it would hurt people because there is no limits and it gets horrible. But we have never ever even remotely been frustrated or mad at the other person, no matter what shot's taken. And we take some deep-seated horrible shots, but it's always funny, right? Because we just came up like that, you know.
That's where I'm hoping we get this show, you know, by the end of it, where, you know, we're just like fully ingrained, you know, embracing our white privilege and just stepping on other people's cultures and saying, you know what, fuck you. Believe what we have to fucking tell you. Suck our dicky cocksuckers. We know what's right. You don't. Come watch our show.
It's taken me so many places.
America.
So many.
I don't know if I can get on board with that, Brad.
Get into that conversation. I grew up outside New Orleans, bitch.
Yeah,
like,
you guys don't want to be on stage like fucking Elon, you know, and on accident. We don't want that.
Nah.
Maybe we'll get there. Maybe we'll get there.
I just did that.
Maybe.
Shadow work night. Maybe week 3 is shadow work night because I got some shadow work to do on that because it costs. Yeah, whatever. I'm not gonna get into that right now. I'm gonna say this. Let's do this because we got 48 minutes. I think we have hit the belief system. I think enough. Excuse me, where people understand it, where they understand the importance. It's gonna take tools to really reprogram it. Repeating stuff in your mind, saying stuff in the mirror, applying a different belief, even if you don't believe it. Thinking, what if I believe this? What would I do? What would I think? Those things make changes. They make legit changes. Because I've done all those things. Is there anything either of y'all would want to add to belief systems? Because I want to give time to explain our understanding and my understanding of what emotions are, because emotions kind of affect our lives a lot. And Brad has wanted to talk, and I'm going to keep talking so he can't, so I can be a douchebag. And he's over there just like, oh, Sean, give me a turn. Shut up. You've been talking the whole show. And I'm just going to keep talking, right? Because that's what the viewers want. They don't want Brad. They come here for the Cosmic Adonis. They're waiting for me to take my shirt off. And I might or may not do that. We don't know yet. All right, I'll shut up. Go ahead.
Too.
Oh, yeah, you're ready.
Right.
Yeah. I'm over here getting all chink-eyed. Oh, we're going to get canceled.
My ex's from Taiwan, so I'm allowed to laugh at that.
Nevertheless, though, just try to bring it back into where we're overall heading. Fuck it. I lost track. I'm high as shit. Let's go.
I did the joke. Look, bro, look.
Come in here, drop a chink-eyed joke and move on.
My daughter will be like, hey, Dad. And I'll be like, yeah, what's up, George? And she'll be like, no, I'm not George. I'll be like, are you sure? She'll be like, yeah, I have long hair. I'm Bella. George doesn't have long hair. And then I'll be like, okay, well, what were you about to say? And she remembers it every freaking time. I sidetrack her as much as possible, and she remembers it. I sidetracked Brad for literally 7 seconds, and he lost it.
He's done.
Just throwing that out there, dude. 4 and 5-year-olds are superheroes.
I mean, honestly, that's because I'm over here trying to embrace the Black culture. 6 seconds is like all that we have attention for, and if you can't spit it out that fast, fucking move on.
Better shake that ass and watch yourself. Better suck the head off them damn crawfish. I'm going all the way on the dance floor on this. Y'all don't know about that. You wish you did. All right. Any closing thoughts or statements about belief systems before we shift to what emotions are?
Nah, I think we covered it. I don't want to get too heavy with it. I think it's good.
Okay. Brad? Do you want to say fuck Cosmo and say something?
Yeah, just fuck you, Brad.
Yeah. Never stop.
Brave on that screen.
You know, just questioning your belief system and just being open-minded is what I will touch on. Just being open-minded to new possibilities, new information, and always being willing to change your outlook and perception, but not necessarily just be willing to go down any rabbit hole and just fucking staying down there and just getting fucking lost. But okay,
test things out.
That's my coherent thought before we move on.
Okay.
Yeah. I like that, Cosmic. Test things out. I think that's been my journey and probably yours too. Try things, see what works. That's most of mental health, I think.
Not meth, though. Stay away from meth. You don't need to do that.
I mean, if it gets you there, right?
Nothing's ever lost. The only thing you gain is experience. If you do enough meth, you might get on the Cops TV show and be a celebrity, and you're more famous than I am, obviously.
Change your life.
You know, went from 500 to 8. So there you go.
Man, we just need one catch me outside moment. Y'all remember that bitch? Catch me outside.
How about that?
She was emotional as shit.
Okay, speaking of emotions.
Boom, segue.
I want to get into, that's a smooth fucking segue. Matt Moscona would make fun of me so much right now. So would Opie and Anthony. Those are my radio hierarchies. That's the ones I learned from. Anyway, speaking of emotions, I'm going to make 2 statements. Okay, I'm willing to talk for probably, 3 days about them, but we don't have to go that far, and I'd like to hear what y'all think. Emotions serve 2 main purposes. I'm sorry, the microphone, I took the screen off, whatever. One is they give meaning to the moment. The emotion gives meaning to the moment. A memory is nothing more than an image and an emotion. And that motion creates the meaning. And when you can sit here and say all this emotion is capsulating this moment in a learning experience as a meaning, you can move on from it a lot easier and you can learn from it a lot better. The second statement is, and I got this from it was like a Facebook video or TikTok video, whatever. And it was a monk talking to children, and the child brought up anger. And she was like, what do I do with anger? How do I express this? And he brought it up in a way basically where he expressed it as emotions are an energy and you can use them. And when I read that, I was like, that's bullshit. When I saw that, I was like, that's bullshit. When I get super pissed off, I'm just ready to bust a head. I'm mad. My day's ruined for a while. And I started really thinking about it. And I said, well, let me try it. Let me see if sadness, depression, happiness, anger, any of that is actually an energy that I can harness and use to my advantage. And I will tell you, after about 8 months of experimenting, they are an energy, all of them, that you can use to your advantage. And I can break down each and every fucking one you bring up and how you can use it. Those are my 2 statements. Okay, and before I rant on any of those, I want to see if y'all have any thoughts, any disagreements, any agreements, any experiences, anything you want to share related to those 2 statements. The emotion gives meaning, and emotion is merely an energy that you can use to your advantage. Go.
Yeah, I would say, and I won't rant for too long, Brad. I'll let you hop in. But I would say energy. Well, if we break down the word emotion, it's energy in motion. So energy is something that needs to move. If it doesn't move, bad things happen, right? Think of like a train that hits a blockage, right? If that energy can't move, it's going to crash. So like anger needs to be moved. If anger doesn't move and it sits, that's going to turn into disease. You know, you see that shit all the time. There's plenty of angry men out there that have big ass guts that are full of anger. They hate their jobs, they hate their spouses, they hate their children, you know.
Go home and kick their dog.
Yeah, for real. So yeah, funny enough, like anger, something I think I try and do and harness anger is work out. Great energy to work out for. Clean the house. It's a great productive type of energy. I think we just don't understand emotions very well, especially I think men in our generation, because we just don't talk about them. We don't acknowledge them. Our parents didn't really, talk to us about that stuff either. And so we just don't know what to do with them. But I don't know. I think like Cosmic and I know for sure. I don't know as far as Brad, like where you've gone down this path, but opening up that energy of like love. I think children really do this for you. They open up your heart to the point where you're like, you feel again, and it does a lot of things to you. It changes you. And so I think what I've learned from it is there's so much power in emotion, and especially like internally, spiritually, emotion is everything. And we can talk about that for days, Cosmic for sure. But yeah, I want to know what Brad thinks.
First off, I think exactly what Stevie was thinking. One of these days, I'd love to just get underneath your skin.
Yes.
Not like, just like fuck Cosmo, but like I just
What
we'll
pisses
see where
off
you
Cosmo?
go. Like we'll figure it out one day. Nevertheless, let's double back. I
think I could do it
because I don't want to be lost like I was last time, where Cosmic was like, "Oh, Brad really fucking doesn't have attention span," which I don't, and that's fair. Nevertheless. Basically, I'm going to reaffirm everything that Cosmo was saying, but break it down into things that I utilize, my techniques, because energy needs to be transferred. Energy in motion stays in motion unless you store it. And that's a way of holding it until you find a different place to dispose of it, where we purge it out. And that's a bad thing. That's where people get drunk and they get violent. There's all sorts of different examples that we can use in there. Nevertheless, Headweight says, I'm angry. You don't have a gut. That may be true, brother. I don't have a gut. I mean, a little bit thick. But got a little junk in the trunk. You know what I'm saying?
Headway makes some good choices with his health. He knows angry.
Nevertheless, I have some joint issues because I store my anxiety there sometimes until I have a proper place to release it. Because I fuck up too, right? I'm capable of mistakes like everybody else. But nevertheless, I do have some appropriate methods to channel my energy and to utilize good coping mechanisms to release that energy in a productive manner. Some of those, like Cosmo was saying, I love exercise. Exercise is one of the fundamental routines of my life. And if I don't do it, something's fucked up with my my day. But what it does is it gives me an opportunity to, sit down, meditate, focus on what I can control, get a little bit better every day, challenge myself. And I always like to say in my workouts, if I can beat myself by showing up, pushing myself, nobody else can beat me because I'm my hardest critic. And once I can complete that, I have a lot of fucking positivity. I can post whatever the fuck I want online and not give a fuck about anybody's opinion because honestly, I've completed my task for the day. But moving forward, though, yoga is another great one. If you're not utilizing yoga stretching techniques, you're probably not going to live past 70, 80 years old. And I don't know what to tell you. Like, I'm not just being an asshole. I'm being fucking honest with you.
Get on those hips.
There is, other ones. My favorites are touching grass, just literally nature, anything with nature. Headweight, your plants help. I'm sure they are, because that helps everybody, man. Like fucking literally grounding yourself with nature. There's a lot of science in that. Cosmo, you touched on playing with kids. Oh, there's so much fucking release there. I'm trying to go fast so I make sure I hit all these. But anything constructive hobby, so you release that positive dopamine where you're not just fucking punching walls and fucking making sure that when that energy's coming at you, you're not just immediately feeding it right back to the person and just displaying violence. Utilize it in a way that you can accomplish things and be productive in life. Don't just let it go to waste completely or drink yourself to death or fucking smoke weed all the fucking day and sit on the couch and mope about it. Get something done. Anyway. Yep. Couple anyways.
Anyway.
But no, there's some great points there. I don't know if Cosmo is about to get into something, but if you are, go ahead.
Only thing I'll say is emotions are part of that system, right? And I think the role of emotions in that system is to serve as like the engine almost. I think without emotion, it's pretty hard to get throughout the day. Like if you're not pumped to go to work, it's pretty rough to get throughout the day. But if you're stoked about what you're working on, or if you can hype yourself or get yourself into a state where you can be excited about it, that energy will push you through the day so much easier. You will have a much better day. Everything will be much more fluid. So I don't know, just experiment with it, I would say. But emotions are powerful, and I will say they're unlimited too. That's one thing thought and emotion, those are two things that I think a lot of people throughout history have tested, and they're unlimited. There is no cap to them, which is very interesting. There's not very many things within this closed system that are unlimited, but those are some of them.
No doubt. I think what we're gonna end up doing is do like a holistic health, alternative health, and then probably some shadow work, and really talk about how to process the emotions. Because that's not what tonight was for. We can get there a little bit, but that deserves a week. But what I want to say is, like, you were talking about things in motion stay in motion and storing emotions, and it's kind of interesting because emotions was not something I ever thought was chemical, and I failed a drug test when I was 19, scaffold building, and I had to go to the TAW center, I think I can say that, and go through drug education. I had to go to NA meetings, AA meetings to be able to return to work, all of this stuff. And that's when I learned how your neuron receptors work in the brain. That's when I learned about emotions being chemicals that are released. Okay. And then fast forward about 12, 13 years, and I start hearing this stuff about emotions being stored physically. And I know a somatic psychotherapist or somatic therapist, Cosmo may know him, the Bo Diddley. Do you know Bo Diddley?
Yeah, that sounds familiar.
Okay.
Yeah, it does. The Bo Diddler? What?
I've tagged Brad in some posts with him.
Sorry.
He doesn't like to talk about this kind of stuff on social media because it's his job. Fair enough. But I've done like mental health spaces with him. We've talked this stuff in public. And he was one that brought to light, him and Andrew Huberman. Granted, they're on two different spectrums, but they've brought to light to me that they're physical and they're stored, and they're chemicals that get stored in your body, and they create issues when they're not released, when they're not in motion. And I kind of thought that was bullshit, right? And I've told y'all I had years where I struggled with pooping. Like, literally went to the doctor, felt sick. The nurse took x-rays and was like, I want to tell you this, but you're full of shit. And I struggled for about 5 years, not being able to use the bathroom, getting to the point where 2 to 3 times a year I had to take that magnesium citrate, calcium citrate, whatever it is, that nasty drink, and then you're using the potty for 8 hours to store it out. I went through a lot of issues, and they were a lot of parental issues. And if my parents ever see this, this isn't to attack y'all. This is, my belief system, to tie back in, is that you choose your parents. You choose them for what they can teach you and the trauma that they give you, because it's what you need. And I did a space where Bo Diddley and his partner interviewed me, and he asked about my parents, and I shared issues that we've had. And he said, man, I am so glad that you had issues with your mother. I was like, I'm glad that makes you happy. Why do you care about that? And he was like, if you don't have trauma from your parents, then you're going to be like a weak ass bullshit human. He didn't use those words, but he kind of used those words, right? He's like, you need that kind of trauma. And that led to a year where me and my parents got into it. I said everything. I said all of my issues with them, and they said all their issues with me. And we didn't talk for close to a year. But we getting all of that out and hearing their responses to it, I hit a point where, like, I didn't give a fuck at all. I didn't care what they thought. I didn't care what they did, because I was like, y'all had me. Like, that's on y'all. Y'all had a kid. Like, I'm sorry that, like, I got in the way. If that's what it was, or if there's an issue with y'all having a kid. I'm not saying that was the issue, but it gets to a point where you're like, I don't feel burdened because I was your child. You have the burden of raising me because you had a child, because I have a child now, and I know what that looks like. And I was able to resolve so much of this trauma. And it feels like my parents resolved a lot of this trauma on their end, because we have a really good relationship nowadays. But I'm sharing all this to get to the point that I poo like a normal human now. The poo doesn't get stored. I don't get sick. I don't get these sinus infections 5 times in the fall and twice in the spring, or 3 times in the spring. I don't get sick as much. My energy, and now my energy is like my spiritual aura energy that all y'all think is bullshit, even though it's not. And that's okay if you do. I literally mean like my ability to get through the fucking day without needing a nap at 2 p.m. got better. My health got better. And the only thing that changed in that time was processing the emotions, losing the expectations, accepting them. It has nothing to do with motherfucking forgiveness. If we do a shadow work episode, I am going to rant about forgiveness, and I'm about to rant about it right now. Forgiveness is fucking bullshit. It doesn't matter. They tell you it matters so that you have something to trigger your subconscious to let go of something. It's a trigger to trick you. It does not matter. What matters is accepting what happened, taking responsibility, and learning from it. How do I love through this situation? That's how I
Move the
approached
energy,
everything.
right?
How do I love through this, right? Like right now, when I was on that phone with my dad, I was at the smoke bin at work and I was ready to beat his fucking ass and my mom's. I was so mad. How can I love you through this? That's what went through my head after I hung up the phone. How can I love me through this? That's what went through my head. 10 years ago, that would not have went through my mind. But when this happened, that's what went through my mind. It allowed me to keep the emotions moving, to accept what was going on, to learn how to love through it, and to process it. And it did not cause me those health issues that I was having. My parents did not give me health issues. Do not misunderstand. My inability to process emotions gave me health issues. I am 100,000 million% accountable for everything in my life. Nobody else. Not my parents, not my wife, not my kid, nobody. Me and my wife got into it this morning. I was pretty pissed off this morning. I channeled it into fixing shit that I put for a year. The drywall thing, that's a year-old project. That's on me. I got lazy. Channeled it into this dude. Brad's laughing. He knows. Channeled it into doing that.
It is what it is. Sometimes.
But I used the emotion to keep it moving, and I used it to my advantage. Because that was my thought process. I bring baby girl to school. She was like, "Were you mad at me? What happened?" I'm like, "I'm not mad at you. It has nothing to do with you. You're good. You go through the day." Came home, channeled into that. Me and the wife talked, said things we needed to say, got it all out. We love each other. That's what a fucking marriage is. And if your marriage isn't that, you can fuck off because you have problems and you got to talk about them every now and then. You do. I mean, at least I do. If you don't, good for you. But we talk about stuff because if I don't tell you this is what's bothering me, then I'm going to be mad every day and you're going to be mad every day. That's what mental health is. And you don't get to the point that you bring it up and process it and talk about it and take accountability and take acceptance unless your belief system tells you that's what you need to do. I know I talked for a long time, but I feel like there was some value in that. It kind of tied into all of it. And I'll shut up. I'll shut up because I
just want to reaffirm everything that you're saying, because what we were talking about with the energy stored, if you're not using things appropriately with it and you're building up that stress, there is a lot of research. I just utilize Grok. I trust Grok now at this point. Shout out to X for giving us this platform. I know we're on YouTube and like whatever, all these other blah, blah, blah. I like this AI. Anyway, nevertheless, immune system suppression that correlates with stress increase, the inflammation. If you don't understand the inflammation response system, that it's right here. Acute inflammation, part of body's defense mechanism. Chronic inflammation can lead to various health issues. More susceptible to infections, etc. So everything that Cosmic was just saying, really. And then it leads to poor sleep, unhealthy diet, and then increased substance use, which can include, more sugary drinks, fucking alcohol, all the bullshit that's just negatively impacting your life and leading to further fucking, issues like that. All right. I just wanted to have another little Brad Smart minute.
Yeah, that was great. Dude, that was great. And that was real. I want to say this, and then I'll let Cosmo talk. But I made this, this is a meme I made a long time ago. Let focus. Yeah, y'all, you better read it. But this is a quote I came up with an NFT, a custom one someone made for me, listening to a special frequency, which was kind of cool, but I spent like way too much money. Anyway, we were talking about the two aspects of the belief system, the spiritual and the reality, and we're talking about the emotions, right? And this brings it all together. It says, "This is why I came here. Imagine infinite ways to exist, but being human is the only one where you can feel any emotions. All of them are precious. My mantra has been, this is why I came here, for all emotions. I wrote this, but I did not write this. And if you know what I'm talking about, you'll understand. This was channeled information through my mind for me to understand and maybe to help one or two other people. But imagine if you're in this infinite whatever, heaven or hell, and you come here and you don't know what the fucking emotion is. You would crave the pain. You would crave the experience. You would crave all of it just to know what it is. But if you didn't know what it was outside of here, you would feel like you're being attacked all the time, but you're not. You're not. Like if I'm pushing my own belief system, then I'm pushing it. You came here for exactly what the fuck you're going through right now. You came here to feel those emotions, to process those emotions. Because why? They give meaning and they're an energy that you have not yet learned how to use. Because when you learn how to use it, they affect your day less and less and less and less and less every day that you start to utilize them for your advantage. And I say that with a fact because I've tested it for a very long time.
I want to give a quick shout out over there. Waylon, he dropped in. We got to get him over here one of these days. He's got his own podcast, runs at similar time, and he does a lot of indoor farming stuff. Obviously a little bit of cannabis stuff too, but he does, a lot of, like real crops where he does it inside. And personally, I think that's just cool as hell anytime people are doing that. But get over to what Headweight said. Maybe it's a therapy session you didn't know you needed. But that's what it's different is every Tuesday. We want to talk about the things that are happening in life that make our life unique to us, our experiences, share our perspectives on them. How can we advance? How can we grow with each other? And just the overall connection about it. How do we learn? How do we embrace each other? But don't be surprised if, one of these days, like Cosmic said earlier, he disagrees with me. I'll probably one of these days, no, man, you're full of shit too. But some things, if it's on par, hey, that's what we're talking about. Same with like the stress stuff, especially emotions, making sure you're channeling them appropriately. That's just from our experience, like personally, I've been through time and time again where I didn't know how to channel those things from my past traumas, from my time in Iraq, or just dealing with overabundance in alcohol consumption, just to be basically honest. There was even a time where I was an opiate addict. I talked about that on this one and the other show on Wednesday. I was big into that shit. Before we even came on screen, we were talking, I was talking about a time in my life where I was hanging out with people who were smoking Percocet off of aluminum foil. And if that doesn't make sense to you, it shouldn't, because like,
it shouldn't,
but
should evoke some sort of emotion.
It certainly did. And that was about the time where I said, is this where I want to be in my life? And that's where I started to make some changes, boys, because that's not where I fucking that's not what I needed to be doing. And around that same time, I was smoking that spice. That was bad news, boys.
Bruh, did I tell you I almost died on the spice?
One of those episodes ago. Yeah.
Okay. You shared it that. Almost killed me. That was real.
You did the breathing and all that.
That didn't kill me. That did other things.
But hey, Tony, that's the journey though, man. Like it's just
fuck yeah.
How do we get through this, together?
Shout out Tony.
Fucking weird. It's gonna be fucking different, and it's different. So let's just lean into it, embrace it a little bit, laugh about it, fucking laugh about it.
But with these topics, man, if I don't make you feel uncomfortable at some moment, I have failed as a host. Because we're not talking about fucking simple things. We have been talking about ancient texts, spirituality, conspiracy theories, mental health. We have been talking about very difficult things. I love you. We even
talked about that fat bitch that was suing the lift company. Just to spice it up a little bit, because
this is the stuff that's interesting, right?
That girl 450 on the hooves, bro.
Like that clearly invoked an emotional response from me. I'm upset about society.
Everybody's emotional about that.
Are you fucking kidding me? We're to this point, just like nah.
It is absurd.
if she should, get the lawsuit winning, then like, hey, my Lyft fucking and Uber should be half off because clearly I'm not fucking taking up as much gas. Like, let's be fucking real with the fucking the load weight. Like,
can there be a weight price? Right.
Right. Like charge you for your baggage. The baggage on your hips.
Like an airline flight. Bruh, that's what this could bring about. I might be able to Uber. Well, Ubers don't come to my house, but if they did, I'd be able to Uber again. They'd be cheaper.
And that's how we implement the social credit score system with your health and everything. You're going to get half off Lyft tickets. You're going to get half off airplane for being, a healthy person.
Bro, you sound real government right now. Mm-hmm. You sounding like a little government little bitch with this social credit score system, bro. Like, me and you about to not be friends. I ain't gonna be here next Tuesday. Fuck you. Like, that's where we coming to right now.
Wait, it's causing
they're gonna throttle you in real life.
Is this spy talk?
That's
trying to cover it up.
I'm the spy for the spies, man. Fuck Clark. He started that.
Oh.
I don't care if he got shot twice. I'll still say that to him. I say it to his face every time I work with him. But I do love that guy.
Yeah.
I always have to give a shout out to the Ugandans. I don't remember their names, but when I was in Iraq, they had the Ugandan people on the base working the guns. Appreciate them guys. I was up there. I was clapping it was basically a microphone. That's really what it was.
You were clapping?
Yeah, I was up there clapping. We had these advanced sound sensors that basically, if a rocket was coming in, they would be like, hey, this thing was coming over from here. This is where it's going to land. But this was to help update the counter rocket defense system that never fucking worked. And anytime something came in, if it wasn't at the right degree angle, it would just never register. Or if there was a dust storm or whatever, it just wouldn't happen. So anyway, I'm up there on top of this guard tower clapping these speakers out, whatever, trying to get the dust out of them. Had to be done routine maintenance. And fucking sniper up there, not really a sniper, he's just a farmer with a gun, but he took this rogue shot, and thankfully the Ugandans, they did that suppressive fire, and I didn't get shot, and killed. I didn't get shot. I got shot at. But thanks for the Ugandans. They might
out. Yeah.
They came up there. They're talking about, you okay, sir? You okay, sir? Sir, you okay?
Shout out to Ugandanians.
Close one.
Hey. But no, like that shit. Emotions. We had these reflective belts that we had to wear on base. I don't know fucking why. Douchebags. My unit, they were fucking stupid. And this lieutenant, he's like, hey, whatever, my last name, Thompson. He's like, you gotta wear your PT belt on top of these guard towers, man. And I'm like, what? He said, yeah, we got to make sure you're safe when you're up there. So we're going to have you on camera. We want to make sure that you're safe, and we'll make sure, you're fine. Okay.
Safety matters till money's involved.
Right. So I do this for, a good couple weeks. I'm up there. I got my fucking PT belt around vertical or horizontal, whatever, diagonal directions over the shoulder, because they didn't want to run my waist because I was a little pudgy. I was doing steroids over there, whatever. So, it would, my fat fucking, so they said, put it around your shoulder so we can see you. Well, don't you know, I'm not fucking right on the base perimeter, so they can see me. So they can, it was bound to happen. But
nice little target on there.
Yeah, good thing that Iraqi either had a shitty gun, bad shot, late at night. I don't know, whatever. But again, shout out to Ugandans. Always thankful for those motherfuckers.
Ugandanians.
Yep.
That's the way you say it.
Proper.
Yeah.
Is it really?
I have an English degree, so whatever I make up is real.
It's better than what we got.
I gotta say, those fuckers. That's a bad way to start that. I love them. Those fuckers, though, like they were hilarious, but at the same time, they didn't shower. They like refused to shower the males because they thought it was like this alpha thing, because their pheromones were being exhibited and you could smell them. You could smell their presence. Well, it was a dominating factor. Oh,
it worked.
Very dominating. Huh?
But there was like 2 of these towers that didn't have a ladder to go on top of it. So, you know, these Ugandans would literally fucking give me a boost up there. But like, bro, take a shower, dog. Once. And you know, it was bad because like we had people from like India, Pakistan, all over, you know, the Middle East area, working and shit, you know, on the base. One of the people was like a bus driver. He was maybe Indian, maybe, I don't know. I didn't ask him. That's on me. But he was definitely one of those, not feathers, dots. Okay. So anyway, moving forward. So when the Ugandans got off the bus, this motherfucker, you know, he grabs the whole thing of Lysol. He dumps like half that fucking can on this like 15-seater bus. So like if that's expressing how bad it smelled, that like a Pakistani guy was like, I got to get a half can of Lysol for this. That's what we're talking about here.
Bruh, you can't say any of that in 2025.
Can't hear it.
Oh, okay. Look,
that's my white privilege showing.
I'm gonna bring us back.
Boom.
Okay, so look,
Cancel.
here's the thing. We've talked about belief systems, and we've talked a little bit about what emotions are, right, and how they operate, and why they matter, why they're important, other than just like we feel shit. I want to do this. We got 15, 14 minutes ish. You know, I don't have to get up at 3:40 tomorrow, so I'm not as big as a hurry as I normally am. That once a month sucks. Anyway, I want to talk about a little bit with how. So when I did the mental health space for 2 years, you know, it's really cool to talk about what something is, to explain a concept, to make the abstract real, tangible. But a lot of people, and if you ever listen to life coaches videos and all this stuff, they do not fucking explain how to do these things in a simple human way. Right. So we got a little bit of time, and that was my big thing is I wanted to teach people how to apply stuff to your day that actually changes your day, a better quality daily life. And we ended every show with a quote. Before I get into this, I want to say the quote, and I don't know who said it. I said this at the end of every fucking Wednesday for almost 2 years. And I said, if anyone knows who said this and tell me, there will be a prize. I don't know what the prize is, but I'm going to give you something. But it was, you did the best you could in that moment with the level of consciousness and awareness that you had in that moment. To me, that was very powerful. Because you were who you were and you did what you did, and it's okay. Because you are who you are now, and you're going to do what you do, and it's going to be different, but it's still okay, right? But I want to get us some tools. And Stevie,
it's in this book somewhere. I don't know if it was this author who wrote it, because he quoted so many people in this.
You find that quote and you post it. I'll repost it from my actual account that has 75,000
I know
followers.
it's in
I don't
there.
Follow you there.
Because when that shit hit me, I gotta let you know, I had to put that book down for like 2 fucking weeks.
What's the name of that book?
The Mastery of Self.
Okay.
And it's part of the 4 Agreement series where they break things down. And I don't, because he that Don Miguel Ruiz, he references a lot of different things, a lot of different cultures, a lot of the Toltec stuff, of course. But I don't know if it was exactly him, but if he quoted, anyway, I gotta reread that book.
You get a prize.
When that line hit me for the first time, I genuinely was just like shook. I never really encapsulated just like understanding, wait a minute, I fucked up a lot just because of the, you know, external circumstances that were around me. Here I am just trying to make the most of it, trying to understand exactly what's happening and just do the best that I can with what I know and move forward accordingly, hoping that people don't fucking pick me apart later. And that's what I'm doing to everybody else, is I'm just picking them apart based on what they were trying to do with what they know.
It's all you can do with what you have.
We that's not saying don't be critical of other people's decisions and do what's best for you, because like absolutely you'd need to, but I believe that comes with communications and setting the groundwork and the framework for the relationship so that you have a clear-cut understanding. Because if you don't, there's a lot of times where people think that somebody cheated on them, or that they violated the relationship agreement because of some unspoken thing that was never said. Like, let's say this podcast, for instance, if you guys see me on, like another podcast and you were like, wait a minute, you said that we were going to do this podcast together. What the hell, Brad? What the hell is wrong with you? We never said that we couldn't, hang out with other people and have fucking another relationship with other people, have podcasts. Why are we getting upset? But that is a real life thing that happens to a lot of people.
I'm a monogamous host. I'm a polyamorous host, bitch.
We rotate around, and we get in there. But genuinely, though, like that happens a lot of times where we don't announce our intentions, what we want to happen, what we want the other person to have happen, and then we get upset at them for something that we never told them was something that was a requirement for our relationship to happen. And then when they violate that, we have to tell them, like, hey, look, I'm not okay with this. And if you're not able to make the necessary changes to move forward, that's where you personally have to do what's best for you to establish, like what you're going to do with the relationship, whether you're going to preserve it or just go about it, mediocrity and just that's somebody that I know. That's how you have to handle that.
It's like,
in my opinion. Sorry.
It's like what Cosmic was talking about earlier about being in traffic and having somebody cut you off. You can have the choice of being upset with them and reacting to that and being angry and kind of perpetuating that same type of behavior and emotion. Or you can choose to maybe empathize a bit with them, which empathy being going beyond yourself and maybe thinking about them and what they're going through. Maybe they had a shitty day. Maybe they're going through something and they're not thinking rationally. So they're being emotional with their driving. Those are all choices, and those are all emotions. And, if we can look at like trauma, and I don't know if this is like going on too much of a tangent, Cosmic, but we can move back in if we need to. But just thinking about Tony, like doing the work, going through and working through trauma, to me, and maybe Cosmic has a good definition for this too, but trauma is energy or a moment that is stuck in you that you cannot process and is now kind of fractured from you. There's a lot of ways to kind of think about it.
Fragmented.
Fragmented.
How the therapist would say it.
Sure. But I think everybody kind of has their own kind of notion of what that separation looks like. But essentially, it's energy that is stuck that needs to be worked through, that is too much for us to process in the moment. Like as a child, when something happens to you that you're not able to process, that trauma gets stuck, that emotion, that memory, that meaningfulness of that experience gets stuck in a lot of times a really negative way. There can be like positive traumas to where like something so insane happened that it like changes your life forever and you're going to be an astronaut because you saw a UFO or some shit. It works both ways. But the point is, you can work through that. And that's what therapy, that's what, for me, like psychedelics was great. Doing ketamine, doing, very intentional, safe, and for me, spiritual type of settings was very, very healing. And so I think the benefit that we all have here, and really everybody in life, but I think we're unique in that we've tested a lot of this out in our own ways. We have the experience, we have the gnosis of going through our shit and dealing with it. And we're all the better for it. Like Sean talking about his parents. I did the same thing with my mom. There was a lot of stuff that we had left unsaid, and I had the opportunity to say it, and I said everything. And I remember the day after, I felt 100 pounds lighter. It was amazing. The best feeling. Our relationship is so much better. So yeah, I think we've said it before. I said it already, but like test this stuff out. Test out playing with emotions and see where you can go. Because they're not, I think we think that they're like unmanageable. Like Sean was saying, like you can't control emotions, but you absolutely can. One practical way to do that, belief system, but also your breath. If you can control your breath, you can absolutely control your breath. Anytime
I was gonna say, if you don't say it.
That's where I was trying to go when I started this 9 minutes ago.
Oh, okay, cool.
Finally got
I brought it back. We all
I don't know if we're about to wrap up in 5 minutes now, or if we're going to go a little bit longer. Cosmic, you kind of hinted at it earlier. I don't know. It's up to you.
I got a couple things I want to leave people with that,
No,
that matter.
That's,
but yeah,
that's all I want to throw out.
Okay, because I was say because our buddy Waylon, he said, I don't know, it's up to you. You're taking us on this journey. If we're gonna wrap up, Waylon will have to catch you on the next time because we run till 4 minutes. I'm taking up Cosmic's phone.
I will stay up with Brad if Brad wants to stay up. Cosmo has a 9 to 5 normal job. Me and Brad have different schedules.
I can do another 15, 20 minutes if we want to stay on the topic. This is a good one. I think it's important.
I'm good to say. Yeah.
I personally, I wouldn't mind. We get in the comment section and we get to interact with people.
Yeah,
we get a little bit of a basis of understanding. And, I've come to kind of, know who Waylon is. But if we get him in here, I get to, know who he is. You know what I mean?
I'm good with
I
it.
wouldn't mind, actually.
While we work on that, I want to throw this out there. And maybe Cosmo had the privilege. We had Sean Paul on a show when we did Let's Get Cosmic back in the day. Sean Paul is a certified breath coach for a long time now. Follow him at _Sean Paul _ something like that. But breath work matters so much. So when me and Stevie were doing this, we talked about triggers a lot. And what mattered was triggers to remind you to be present. Okay. I tied a lot of this into when we were being a kid and this and that. I'm good with it. It's definitely good. Because I said good. So what I want to get to is Stevie has mala beads, like a monk. He has the beads he wears on his wrist. And he has trained himself that when he's in a difficult situation or a stressful situation, whatever it is, he goes to those beads. Cosmo's got some. And he does his meditation, counting the beads and all this stuff. Yeah. I trained myself to this.
Box.
Throughout the day, I breathe. I do box breathing, yes, especially to go to sleep. God, if you are a difficult sleeper, hit me up in the DMs. I will give you the fucking pamphlet to how to sleep at night. I have a system of box breathing with different seconds that I work to. But I breathe throughout the day. Cosmo and Helen, she is at I am Masut. I can't say it. I don't know it, but Helen's fucking awesome. I have trained myself throughout the day to take these deep breaths, to take different breaths. And what it does is it makes me be present. It reminds me that, hey, I'm here. Let's think about what's going on. Let's get real with what's happening and let's be present in the day. And it's not that I can remember to be present, right? It's that I remember to breathe, and the breathing triggers me to be present. Stevie didn't remember to be present. He remembers to touch his beads and to do this with his hands. And that triggers him to be present in the day. And those things allow you to process the emotions, to move the emotions. The being present allows you to go, I'm here. It's right now. I'm alive. This is the only thing that's real is this exact second. The present is a gift bullshit quote, which is real. Those are the tools, right? It looks like we're going to do holistic healing, some shadow work, and some tools, right? Like I'm seeing that be in the next couple weeks that we get into.
Yeah, I like that.
They matter so much, and they can go so long to change your life.
Yeah, just real quick, what's happening when you breathe too, when you slow down, when you remember to be present, is you get out of that fight or flight mode. Because typically we're in that mode all day. We're doing email, we're doing, gotta pick up the kids. There's a million things we gotta do all the time. And so when you breathe, that switches your nervous system into the parasympathetic mode, which is the rest and digest and think. When you're in fight or flight, you're not using the neofrontal cortex, the prefrontal cortex, which is your processing, your thinking, your reasoning. You're in that animal brain. You're in that I'm not safe, That's why people are all crazy at work. Nobody is authentic at work because you're just so full of anxiety.
Your left brain. You're all left brain.
Yeah.
Right? Filter, creativity, thinking. Filter in reality.
Yeah.
Your left brain.
Sorry. One of our, I don't want to just pat myself up, just cut you off. Sorry.
You good?
We had an episode a couple weeks ago, months ago now, where Cosmic was talking about safety. And, I talk about, where I worked in like the base defense. The reason where I was one of the guys who was on top of the guard towers, clapping out the microphones is because I was one of the better people at my job. I understood everything that was happening with the computers, but I was able to maintain a controlled mindset when rockets were coming in. I wasn't panicking. I was understanding that, like, if I fucking die, it sucks. But like at the same time, I'm in control of what's happening, and lives are at stake. And if I fail, like what could happen because of it. So just when that stuff was happening and the emotional behaviors with everybody being exhibited, there was a lot of trust and security that was being presented by people, not just me, but other people that I worked with, and they were able to elevate themselves, not necessarily like immediately with rank, but it definitely came over time. But like their status, when anything was going down or anything was being questioned, it wasn't like, hey, we need to talk to this sergeant. No, like we know who the fuck we need to talk to. Hey, what's going down? What's happening? We know who's really in charge here. Fuck this guy. We know that you have things under control. But like that's just personalities and the experience that comes out. But I think that goes in hand with having a little bit of understanding. You can only control how you respond to things, and I think we kind of tapped on that earlier.
Yep.
If you focus too much on like, oh well, this could happen, you're gonna get overwhelmed, you're gonna get overloaded, and you might end up in that fight or flight response scenario where you're just overwhelmed with anxiety, and you end up either shutting down internally. And I think a lot of people get misdiagnosed. I'm not trying to be a psychiatrist here, but I think they get misdiagnosed with like depression because they're overwhelmed with anxiety. They don't know how to place it, and then they just shut down. And that was mainly what I was trying to go with that. But I just wanted to tap in though, because like it is like you were talking about though, Cosmo, just to bring it back, the workplace environment. Everybody's so just walking on eggshells, so afraid to express themselves until a major moment shifts and the dynamic is flipped. And I love to be a protagonist of anarchy when it comes to the social environment, and just poking and prodding, and just like a little bit of poop joke here, a little bit of Nazis here, a little bit of Jewish here, a little bit of Asian here, and then we'll just throw a little bit of flack over here, over to 369 damn girl finds. I can talk to one more time, get low. And have fun with it, just laugh with it. Right. Because if we're not laughing at ourselves, we can't laugh at anybody else. And have to emphasize that these days. Laugh at yourself first and then laugh at others, because then they get all offensive and fucking pissy. But
that's their problem, though. It's not yours. They got to work that out. I'm going to say this. Go ahead and bring Waylon up. Me and Twosome is Helen. I highly recommend that follow. Very small account, wonderful account. Her and Sean Paul are close, and they share good value. And to Tony, real quick, before we welcome Waylon officially, I'll say this, man. Look up box breathing. Sean Paul taught me that 5.5 seconds is like this magical moment of box breathing. And that's when you breathe in for 5.5, hold for 5.5, let out for 5.5, don't breathe for 5.5. That makes a box. And like when I need to slow down, working my shift work to sleep, I'll start with 3 seconds and I'll work myself up to like 8. And then I'll just do some deep breaths like that Joe Dispenza type, trying to pull my bottom of my lungs to the top of my lungs.
Spinal fluid up. Yeah.
Dude, I pass out every time. The goal is to meditate and I always pass out. But I want to say this, Waylon, welcome to It's Different.
Okay.
Yo.
Welcome to Tuesday. You have a name that seems like you belong around where I live. So I love it already. So how you living, man?
Yeah, my family's from the Carolinas, but Waylon Jennings is the inspiration. But pretty good, guys. Yeah, I just did a couple hours myself, and I thought, hey, they're still live, and I didn't think about seeing if y'all would, if there's an overlap or not, because I know you do the show about the same time. So I thought, hey, they're still over here. I'll see what's up. I was going to ask if I could do a dab on screen, but I already have the answer. So I guess we'll.
Jeez, Brad.
Golly, Brad, is that 7?
At least he's gonna one up Brad. I like this.
What? Are you an alchemist? Did you read Paulo Coelho, the Alchemist? That's serious.
Full Metal Alchemist, is that what you said? A little bit of anime.
I mean, dude, I used to smoke a lot of weed back in my day. I never had nothing like that.
Yeah, dude. That's
Yeah,
fancy.
but look, you know, it's funny because like, okay, this thing I call it the Dab and Dragon, right? This is $100. It's not an expensive rig. It's not like it's nothing. It's nothing cool. But I bought it because it was like sitting next to a rig that was like normal size for $80. I was like,
it's bigger, better, America.
20 more bucks, yes.
yeah, man.
Hell yeah.
That's sweet.
Beautiful.
But I get compliments on it, but it's like literally really stupid that I use it because it's not a dab rig. It's just for flour, you know, like it's like all that filtration and stuff in there. It's like I'm pointless. But the e-nail's cool. E-nail's cool though, for sure.
I like this Zohan fella Rena. I don't inhale. We're going back to 1997, Bill Clinton.
Have you guys? Have you seen that guy on Joe Rogan? I forget his name, but it was a breathing kind of expert, and he was like teaching Joe some breathing moves, you know. And he's like, if you do this 6 times, like your head will start tingling and all this.
Yeah,
I tried that shit for sure.
Yeah.
I've done a lot of the stuff Sean Paul recommended. I've had some weird body feelings, man, and it's crazy because like he told me he's had moments where he's passed out. I think he's had nosebleeds. Helen has had some moments where they passed out, but they've done some very intense exercises. He brought us on, like he had us doing this like mouth stuff. Do you remember that, Cosmo? Like it was almost like a hyperventilating exercise, like
yeah. Well, it's a fire breath,
it was intense.
And yeah, like the fire breath where you like super intense breathe in, super intense breathe out, where it's like almost like a workout, like you're pushing your muscles, but you're pushing your lungs. So it's like a very forceful in and out, but rapidly, which is interesting because I've heard from multiple different sources and people on YouTube, whatever, that most of the DMT that's in our body, DMT being the molecule that allows us to dream, it's the God molecule, whatever, lives in our lungs. And so if we are doing this fire breath, you're loosening that. And if you can be in a mental place to where you can actually move that up, like a lot of people have said they've just completely left, you know, it was tingling body sensations first, but if you keep going, then you just completely.
And that's the astral projection steps, right? Your body tingles everywhere before you can roll out.
That's some CIA mind tricks right there.
Wow, it's not from the CIA. They got it from somewhere else. I think you're muted, Waylon. Were you saying something, bro? Oh, we got the finger. Oh, yes.
Got the remote.
My beard shut off. Let me turn it on again. Here we go.
My beard shut off.
Hey,
that's so dope.
Bro, that is a fire beard.
I needed to be mobile. I almost cut it off today. Actually, I was like, well, we just got it trimmed up a little bit instead.
There you go.
So I had one back in the Gap. I could flip from the chin and hit my nose, and I used to put cigarettes in it when I go to the bar because I was like pure white trash and whatever. But you sir, that's nice.
It was a nice.
I had to grow it longer. I looked too much like a cop. You know, it's just one of those things. either that or Bob Vila. It was Bob Vila all the time.
Bob Vila.
You had to be a little older. Remember that reference
from Home Improvement?
Yeah,
the real Home Improvement.
I think Tim Allen's got a new show.
I'm sure he does.
Something about fixing something, you know, tools or whatever. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, they're bringing it back. Home Improvements 2.0.
I'm very jealous, Stevie. You knew me back then.
Waylon,
let me ask you, bro. You wanted to hop up. Was there like a topic, a moment, a thought, or something you wanted to get into, or you wanted to share or elaborate on?
It's just like what John said. This is the next step of like beyond us like responding to each other and chat and in comments, you know, because we all use the video medium. This is what actually this right here is going to connect us already. Like boom, we don't even have to talk about anything. And now I know you guys like on a much different level than just the name in the comments.
Absolutely.
You know? Sure. Not everybody has to do video. Look, that's not for everybody. All those spaces, like people that hide out in the spaces, they want to like have a cool PFP and like the voice might sound like the voices probably sound so different than what these people look like, you know, like
and that's fine.
Crazy. That's
I have
cool,
a mental image
like,
sometimes, but yeah, no, like I love seeing you. You know what I mean? Like
the reveal.
I enjoy, you know, getting the point where we have like a little bit of a community feel, like we're creating an atmosphere where we can have a fucking conversation, maybe make some waves a little bit if we ever get down to it, you know. And but otherwise, just pass the good vibes, pass the fucking the bong, or for these guys, the good vibes. But
I mean, there's sometimes we don't want people to know our voice, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that.
I sound like
you're
a
fucking
bitch.
spy.
You could do
Do
that.
you guys think I need like a modulator? Because like I need to up my voice a little bit because I kept thinking I sound like a bitch. I think so.
It's because when you hear your own voice inside your head, it's vibrating at a different frequency. So like you literally sound much deeper with your own voice than you do when you hear it after like a recording of it. When you hear a recording, it sounds so much like low, like a higher pitch. You're missing like a whole frequency because you don't. It's not even there. It's
Is that
crazy.
like when people look at themselves in the mirror and they don't get that, you know, the real reflection of themselves? They get that mental image and they like
body dysmorphia.
Yeah, like I
yeah.
have no idea how that shit works. You know what I mean? Like I've
Totally.
always, but like
Talk
every
about
time
belief
people
systems.
think about it, you know, like I always wonder, like, well, do I look like what I think I look like? Like I don't know. Like, do I have body dysmorphia? How would I know?
Or like out of body or not. What is it when you look at yourself in the mirror and you don't like it doesn't look like you don't feel like that's you in the mirror? Like not that body dysmorphia, but like the other thing where it's like you don't feel like
it's like imposter syndrome.
Imposter syndrome. That's the one. That's the one.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, I know I'll cover a song and think I sound great, and then I'll record it and listen and be like, bruh, don't post that. Don't let anyone ever hear you sing this song.
So I had some troll tell me, "Oh, you got to get the gray out of your beard. You look too gay like that." I'm like, "What? So either one, you want me to cut out pieces of it, or two, you want me to dye it? Like, what a troll! Like, what kind of stupid troll would say that?"
Dyeing it is a little more homophobic than gay, and I
like,
think you look the perfect amount of gay. I like how gay you look right now.
I was like, so only
I
gay
enjoy
guys
it.
have gray hair? Okay, fine.
Yeah, I'm confused about that.
I understand.
These trolls,
It's natural.
man, they're fun. I had some YouTube trolls the other day too. That's always fun.
Yeah, you look pretty, and you have hair. You have hair to match the beard. I don't even know what that's like.
Cosmic, do you remember Greggy Pants? Do you remember him?
Who?
Greggy Pants, who came in here that one time, I think his name was, who fucking told you that you were rambling too long, that I was a Hitler lookalike.
Yes.
He didn't talk shit on Cosmo much.
No, he said, am I going to sit down? So I actually sat down, and then I got sleepy.
Yeah.
Remember
Hey,
that?
you're hard to pick on. I mean, you look like a little Abercrombie and Fitch bitchy model, and you stand up. But other than that, there's not a whole lot.
Plastic.
He came to the Wednesday show a few times, and we finally outed him that, like, you know, I think you might be gay. You might be into us. And he's like, you know, I've referenced that a few times. I'm surprised you guys haven't picked up on it, and I haven't seen him since. I'm a little hurt about it.
So Han says it literally says just for men.
He's got a point.
I like it. Look, I'm gonna share this, and then I got a question for Waylon. But so when we were locked in for the freeze, right, and I slept in the food closet, we had they were feeding us cafeteria food that wasn't very good, and my partner Stefan, the one I was talking about earlier, he made a beef rice thing, like a stew rice thing, was really good. And so while he was doing dishes, I'm giving him a back massage, and I give really good massages, and I'm working his muscles on the shoulders and the spine and working up. And he's like, God,
Steve,
he's like, Sean, you give the best massages. And I said, bro, you don't even know what kind of massages I give to people that I think might reciprocate with a blowjob. And I love Stefan because his immediate response was, well, now I know I set good limits with you. Like I've learned how to set limits because you know not to expect that.
Set boundaries, bro.
Yeah, he sets good boundaries.
I don't ever want a massage from you, bro. I don't want to
That's just that's where we work, dude. Like I give people massages. I tell people, hey man, you're doing great today. You're gonna do a great job. I think you're fantastic. And they smile. And we might die in 10 minutes, right? But they had that smile and it makes the day better.
Mm-hmm.
That's the world I exist in.
Oh, I need it, man. Bring the light.
I mean, that was pretty gay. I'm not even
It
gonna
was
lie to you.
very gay. I do a lot of gay
Not
stuff
gonna lie to you.
at work, man.
Okay.
I don't try to hide it. You know, the male body grosses me out, but like the other things, they're okay. But
There's a lot of
Waylon, let me
times-
ask you this.
Man, that was that.
Was there something that we hit on that you wanted to elaborate on, or that you wanted to hone in on?
I'll be honest, I didn't expect to get the link. I also look, after 2 hours, 2.5 hours of my own show, I did a few dabs in there, and I was like, "Throw me the link," just fucking out of nothing. And I thought, why not? Let's see what's up. And I can pretty much fit in with anything. And I heard you talking about a lot of stuff, but I think what I could tell was the flow of the conversation was like professional. That's what I like about you guys already, because there's different people that go live. There's live streamers that just kind of go live. There's people that are actually trying to structure a show out of what they're doing, whether you're just hanging out and making it an easy flow or nothing too structured, but still you can see the difference in it, and so yeah, I just like, I'm trying to get into more communities on X, and I got hooked up with John through I think it was Oprah, what's her name?
Aura.
That's right. Yeah, that's
Aura.
Right. Yeah. My bad, Aura, if you're out there.
She was in here earlier, but I think it's past her bedtime. She wakes up early.
Well, thank you.
Appreciate
normally we have a phone call before the show, and I have my notebook filled out, and I have little open boxes that I check as we go away. We weren't there tonight, but tonight was a topic that I was super, super comfortable with. I've talked about this topic a lot. How can I find you? How can I connect with you on X?
At the Indoor Farmer.
The Indoor Farmer?
Yeah, I'm commenting on John's stuff a lot. I see a few. I'm starting to get a few people in connection. I'm kind of one of those people that have interest in almost anything, a Joe Rogan-esque type of Neanderthal.
Oh yeah.
Oh snap! That's like
Investigators got the thing.
We're connected. No, we're connected now. I just followed him.
I appreciate you guys bringing me up. I didn't want to keep you too late, but be cool to say hi anyway, and go from there, right?
Oh, yeah. I love the. I didn't expect him to say yes. I just threw it out there.
We used to do a space, and then we were like,
that's my world.
Excuse me. I was like, no, come on, guys. Let's take it over to video. Let's make some real content here. Let's have
Brad
some
had
content
to wear some wigs.
I got the wigs back here just in case. We get weird sometimes, but
I know radio. I did really cool stuff when we did a space that you can only do on radio. You can't do in person.
I like spaces, but there's something about the people that aren't willing to go on video just for like an interview on someone's show, but do spaces all the time. It's like, I get that that's your main thing, but they're so scared of it. It's like a weird thing. Like that group,
they talk about weird fucking shit that you just want to bring down immediately because it's like no.
We have our show on Thursday, which of course you guys are invited to. It's always an open panel, but strongly trying to find more people like you guys that already do your own thing, and then we all sort of come together once a week, right? But a lot of times I just get random people will pop up, and sometimes we'll have a full 10 people on the screen, and they're on cell phones, and how that audio can be, and then you'll have somebody. We had, before I really knew what I was doing, we had somebody come up and what we call donging us. Have you ever had someone donging you?
What is that?
Where you have them come up.
Elaborate.
Yeah, you say, we just want whoever wants to come up, we're going to put the link in the chat, come on up and say hi. And then they come in the backstage, it's just a person, and then you pull them up on screen, instant dong on the screen.
Oh.
There you go. Yeah.
You can do that?
Not, I mean, but then the video's screwed, you're pretty much,
You're banned.
Well, maybe not banned, but
I mean, Brad, can I dong us one night? I like my dong. I'm happy with my dong.
I don't know about the sponsors. What do they think about that?
Will it help for views?
I don't think so.
No? Okay.
It'll certainly be a moment.
It was an impressive dong too. I mean,
it's definitely there.
Better be.
I think that I don't think that was for real. That was somebody pointing their phone at some pornography with a
it
real.
Wasn't their actual dong.
What I mean, there's no way that was their dong.
Yeah.
A guy with that dong isn't spending his time on the internet trolling people. Like he's out there, he's making it. He's doing his doing the thing.
Living it up.
Or he had the Wizinator on standby.
Yeah.
Man, I've supervised some commercial construction. The framers is really cool because they were all from Ecuador, and they talked shit about me for 2 weeks,
right,
and
guys,
they didn't
here we
know.
go.
They didn't know. They didn't know that I spoke Spanish. Right, my wife's from Colombia. I've done a lot of like Spanish schooling and been in Costa Rica, so I didn't let them know that I understood anything. In week 3, that Monday, they came in and they were like, "Hey, good morning." I went, buenos dias, cara de verga. I was like, "Good morning, dickhead." And they were like, "Oh shit!" I said, "Yo entiendo todos." Like I understand everything. It freaked them all out. It was awesome.
They're probably all quiet.
Oh, they were, man. They were quiet for
Insane.
about 2 days.
Yeah.
I mean, at least have some obscure language. They're gonna have to understand. A lot of people know Spanish now. Like you're not gonna have that as much anymore.
Right?
Like, I'm not seeing all those
the dog might
comments.
go viral.
I'm seeing the last comment I see was from like I don't know 20 minutes ago over here. It's crazy.
Oh, are you only getting the ones that are integrated
YouTube?
with XN maybe or YouTube only?
I see YouTube I see Restream. Yeah,
I'm seeing 1120. I'm up to date, which we weren't in the past, and I like it.
Have you tried other streaming services?
We
did. That's why we came here.
Yeah.
Way better.
This one is decent overall. StreamYard is okay, but for like multiple collaborations and then getting the red rings on everybody's shit, like then multiple people have to pay for or you got to get the fancy fucking thing. This one has that little background studio. It's okay. What was that last one, Investigator? If you're still fucking paying attention,
Riverstream.
Riverside. If you ever get them, I don't want to plug them or like totally bash them, but like they can suck a fucking dick. Them resource heavy fucking money hog pieces of shit. Never want to fix a goddamn thing with their fucking bullshit AI clips that just fucking want to fail all the fucking time and waste your fucking time while exporting. Fuck you, you pieces of shit.
Yeah, they did kind of suck.
They did. That was horrible experience. Restream's a little bit better.
Have you tried StreamYard? Is it because they went up in price or whatever? You guys do that? Everyone jumped away. Everyone ran away when it.
StreamYard was the very, very first one that we used, and I think that the reason that we switched over to Riverstream was because the additional media software shit that we could import and have a little bit more customability for it. This one gives a similar. Investigator, can you pull up the QR code for a random fucking plug again real quick on the side of the screen?
I've liked spatial and
anything. I don't really care because that's like the coolest feature. I love that. There we go. The herder edibles. Look at people fucking scan that cool QR code and knowing people
that is cool. Yeah,
sponsors things. So this is one of the cooler features I like, especially when we have like our merch and shit. Like my fucking, if you want to buy my shit, my pass moves straight to you.
I'm Brad. I got 7 sponsors and I have a merch store. Oh,
you have like a NASCAR jacket soon with all the sponsors.
It's cold where I live.
You could always buy yourself an Indoor Farmer hat.
Oh shit! Hey. Oh shit! He's got hats.
Let's say, let me replug mine. I got to go walk back and get my higher values.
Gerard has magnets, bro. Everybody can fuck off. He has magnets.
Honestly, that's sweet, bro.
Strong magnets.
That's pretty cool.
That's pretty
sick. I need to step my fucking game up over here.
You get. I'm gonna tell you what. You get them beer openers, man. You gonna be making headway down here in Louisiana, Alabama.
Now we've talked about a calendar for this show,
bro. I want to do a calendar.
I need to get my abs ready, boys. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's January, almost February. I'm still a little bit in bulking season, getting thick here. Need to trim down for a calendar. Yeah,
nobody has downvoted any one of us. Me and Brad have done a lot of things to get downvoted tonight. For us to have to do weird shit on a calendar or like some weird kind of punishment, no one's downvoted, and I don't like it.
That's true.
I don't like it.
Whose calendar?
It's a pretty positive space, isn't it?
I mean, it could be, but it could not be.
Very supportive of my.
People can say I'm dumb. I'm okay with that.
I don't understand why they like this show either. Like, it's probably the worst fucking show on.
We
on
used to
space right
be
now.
500 to 600, and we're at like 20. You know, I mean, it says something about how horrible we are.
Absolutely, we've dropped off horribly. The lift stuff's gonna get one downvote.
There
Maybe
was a
2
time.
upvotes though.
The lift stuff gonna get us some views.
Can we bring her back up? That fat bitch. Jesus, I should be a little bit
That's
nicer.
not nice, Brad. That's
I
why
should
we
be a little
went
bit
from
nicer.
500.
Well,
to
Investigator, our
20.
producer on the backstage there, well, he's pulling that up. Shout out to him. He's probably tired as shit. Wants us to shut up.
Yeah. Well, it's about that
I'm
time.
mean to fat people because, again, in the Army, when I was in basic training, I don't know, Waylon, you're a vet too, right? I believe.
Yeah.
I had a drill sergeant. He used to call people fat bodies, and he would talk about their fatty foods, and it was just ingrained us. Like, you do not become a fat body. And like, she's a fucking fat body. Like, what do you want me to do about it? Like, she
the
needs to get out
rapper?
there. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
You can't sue fucking Lyft for being a fat body, for fucking always eating out of the junk truck and shit. Like, man, get your life together, bro.
That's your problem. You made that choice. You choose to get like that in life.
Yeah. She
Man,
got
that
3
is not-
asses.
That ain't real. That's Eddie Murphy in a fucking costume, man.
That's Flubber 3, bitch.
Come on, man. That's
Real now. It's not a movie anymore, though, bro.
It's Daddy Daycare 2025.
What's that movie? Norbit?
Norbit.
Oh,
Nothing but Norbit. Yes.
Man, that fucking
nutty
that
name.
girl.
Hercules.
She gets in that car. Oh yeah, that.
Oh my goodness.
Dude, good movie.
Okay. All right. It's 11:30. We've talked belief systems. We've talked what emotions are. We're going to come back next week with actual holistic healing type. We're going to get into piezoelectric a lot more because I'm going to get into Dr. Jerry Tennant. If you want to do research, look up Dr. Jerry Tennant. You'll understand a lot more. I've listened to many of his lectures. Cosmos lived that life a lot. And probably shadow work after that, I'm thinking that's going to be the path because we're
Love
going to
that.
learn mental health for this little season until things change. Change happens. You know, it's a thing.
Before we get out of here, I was gonna say, Waylon, you said Thursday you have your open invite. Now there's no way I'm committing 2 hours to that, buddy. Sorry. I was just
you don't
gonna
have
ask
to be
you.
there. 5 minutes is, you can stop up if you want. It's all good.
I was just gonna say, like, if we can give me
It
like
takes
5,
me 20
10
minutes to get my equipment out here.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
me,
you
I'm
got-
all set up.
Well,
But
you can
my
be
wife should be proud of
informal.
me.
Use your phone on your couch, man. Like, it's pretty informal. I have a teacher that comes on every week. Last week we had a psychologist on. Got my buddy Red Six, another veteran, actually 3 veterans. And it's a lot of good people that pop up, and we just kind of share our experiences on the topic, and within that kind of gain a little perspective amongst each other versus arguing opinions, although that comes up anyway. But I tell you this, it's on StreamYard, and you guys, everybody that comes up, if they want to do this, you can actually, there's an option in the top where you can share it to your audience as your own content. So that show is a show literally for everybody. Anyone can have the content, just to keep that clear. But yeah, people in the boxes, thanks for having me, guys. I'll get out of here so you can wrap it up. But yeah, we'll talk to you all
I was
soon.
just gonna say, if you have any plugs, plug away while
Yeah.
you're here, and then
Just go to my profile. I mean, I have a schedule at the top. It shows all 5 shows, what time, everything. I stick to my schedule, and it's funny. It's friends and sponsors will start a show at the same time you're doing a show. Isn't that weird how that works sometimes? Really antithetical. But anyway, I stick to my effing schedule. So, but you guys have a good night. Thanks again. We'll be seeing you. I'm not really sure how to leave. Let me maybe just close the tab. Maybe
You can't leave, bro.
I'll find this shit. Here,
have a good night.
We'll just do that. Yes, I found it.
Thank you, Waylon. I'm on
Turn off
nights.
your video, man. Oh, there you go.
I'm on nights Wednesday and Thursday this week, but future weeks I'd like to do that. That sounds cool. That sounds really cool. I'd like to go hang out.
Gotta check him out a little bit. Appreciate him stopping by. It's fun to meet new people, always interact with them. If you guys in the chat, if you're still with us here, I know we've already had Steve Z on before. I'd like to have him back on. I seen he has a studio where he was doing his singing in.
Yes.
I ain't trying to hate on him, but last time we know what happened with the audio issues. Look, I've had audio issues before. Let's be real about it.
It was like Brad's before.
Right. Let's just move on. But if you can get back in that studio where I can hear that beautiful voice,
yes,
I don't get back on here.
I'll bring you the cable.
Conversations. This is a good one. I enjoyed it. We had fun. Probably pissed some people off. Probably entertained some people.
Hope we get drama.
If we didn't, fuck them.
Cosmo, you got anything?
Nah, it's good.
All right. Well, your beliefs matter. Emotions are a tool if you choose to use them, and you did the best you could in that moment with the level of consciousness and awareness you had in that moment. If you disagree, fuck off. Welcome to It's Different. We'll see you next week.
We came up from the bottom, now we top tier. Brendo and Cashman, everyone give a cheer. Higher values in the game, we're the pioneers. Speaking loud, raising high, forget all the fear. This is the moment, we let the world know. Values that matter, let the truth flow. Brendo and Cashman, we rise and we thrive. With higher values, we keep the vibe alive. To the truth, let the wisdom arrive. In the heart of the South, watch our dreams collide. Every episode hitting like we just dropped heat. From the streets to the booth, hear the rhythm and beat. Discussions ignite, in the zone we compete. Connecting with the fan, feel that community heat. We keep it real, never play pretend. This journey of ours will never end. Brando and Cashman, we rise and we thrive. With higher values, we keep the vibe alive. Tune into the truth, let the wisdom arrive. In the heart of the South, watch our dreams collide. Every episode hitting like we just dropped heat. From the streets to the booth, hear the rhythm and beat. Discussions ignite, in the zone we compete. Connecting with the fan, feel that community heat. We keep it real, never play pretend. This journey of ours will never end. From the mic to the world, we uplift and inspire. Thanks for riding with us, let's take it higher.
Okay, so strap in, strap on. We're getting ready to go past the moon, straight to Uranus.